What's up, everybody? We got a cool event today. 2 live matches. Dewalt vs. Voddy and Terra vs. Voddy. Oof. These are some tough games for Voddy. I've heard his TVT is probably his best matchup, so maybe the chances of him taking some games off Terra U are higher than his chances of taking games off Dewalt. We'll see. I want to thank the players for agreeing to play live matches. Guys, this is the best of the best tour. We started on February 4th. It ends April 24th. 12 players, round robin. Every single matchup is 5 games long. That comes out to 66 matchups, or 330 total games. We've been streaming every Friday and Saturday since early April. I think this is one of the longest Brood War series ever. ASL finishes up in like a month and a half. So it's just been amazing that we've been keeping up with this. Big thanks to the players for committing to this series months before it even started. They've all been so good to work with. Reliable, good manner, not one incident of like petty drama. The games have been great. Our prize pool is $5,000 now, guys. It's awesome. Our prize system is unique, it's equitable, it means everybody gets paid, it means every single stream event, money is on the line, as long as you win single games. Every player has to play 55 games, or 11 opponents. This is the leaderboard, guys. It's organized according to rankings for the first time. I apologize, not doing this much earlier. It was much easier than I thought. My bad. But here is the updated leaderboard. I have been cross-referencing it with the Liquipedia results. Big shout out to FakeFin for creating that Best of the Best Tour article and some other people who've been editing it. Just want to take a moment to give a shout out to them. Their names are listed under the history bar of the Liquipedia page. Sky Cycle, Osepu, FakeFin. And this name I can't pronounce for the life of me. My good friend M3T for PHYXZX. Thank you guys for updating our Liquipedia page for this. It's probably a pain in the ass. It has our full schedule from like February 5th to April 24th. And just updating the results of it must cause so many problems. But here we are anyways, the leaderboard. You can see the number of wins. I changed the column played into losses, so you get an idea of how many games people have won so far and how many they've lost. The rankings are based on the game rate ratio and not the number of game wins. Because you can see Ziki has more game wins than True Touch, 23 to 22. But True Touch has a higher win rate ratio. That's why he's further up in the rankings. As I mentioned, the remaining column, that's the number of games they have left to play. So someone's status could increase or decrease depending on how those games go. Dewalt is on top, Bonneth, Dandy, Oyaji, Terror, True Touch, Ziki, Koget, Dragon, Cross, Voddy, Striker. What do you guys think? Are these the rankings you had in mind? They've all been playing each other. Every single opponent they've had to go through. Not been easy. 5 whole games. You know, it's not a best of 3. Not even a best of 5. Yeah. I don't have much to say about that. I mean, you can see some players have more games left, right? Cross got 20 games. Terror has 20 games. I believe Terror is going on a short vacation on April 11th. He said he's going to take his laptop with him and his mouse. Hopefully he continues to perform well. I know playing on a laptop presents problems, but you got to keep in mind, this is a 3-month event, guys. And I think when you're trying to compare players, all kinds of like small factors aren't taken into consideration. Time zone differences, you know, lag issues. You know, some days you're playing well, some days you're not. Sometimes you got stuff going on in your life and Brood War is not really on your thoughts. But if you're committed to a tournament like this, especially 3 months long, you got to keep at it. So all kinds of, I think, factors play into the performance of people, but we don't really take that into consideration. We can't. We don't know about it. And we just assume that they're playing their best. But yeah. Good luck to these gentlemen. I know every single one is very grateful for the opportunity to get so much good practice because all their partners, all their opponents are really good. Even though there is a significant skill gap between these guys. You got 4 Protoss, 4 Terran, 4 Zerg players, so you know they're getting practice against all the races. Very grateful for the prize distribution system. At $5,000, every single game win is worth $15.15. We have no administrative costs. Nobody's getting paid except the players. Please consider donating. If you subscribe, you get access to the replay packs. We've been offering 110 replays, which is 22 matches, replays of 22 matches every month. If you subscribe all 3 months, you get 330 replays. Please consider subscribing, donating. All the money goes to the prize, and it's distributed in an equitable manner. So even Striker, Voddy, Cross, Dragon, don't mean to pick on them, but they're at the bottom of the rankings. They're getting paid, because if you take their game wins, let's take Striker, 9 game wins, and he's lost 41. And you multiply that by $15.15, you get $106.35. Striker's getting paid almost 140 bucks. So we devised a really cool system that incentivizes every single player to participate from the beginning to end, to try to take out as many single game wins as they can. Making this kind of series tournament very different from other ones, and it works in a round robin format, and it's been quite good. And again, the players are so appreciative of all the donations and contributions people have made. Just want to take a quick moment to shout out everyone who has donated. Obviously, Esport Fund, Rustbrain is the face of it. They matched our funds. They came up with $1,500. Dez, Sarando, Damfunk, LML, Monkey Library, MFD, CRVT, Sizinkler, A. Contreras, H. Rayfill, Spaceman 5, FTX Sony, thank you so much, Romero, Tufu Cake, Gato, Drogarif. I'm sorry if I mispronounced some of your names, but I just want to thank you guys for donating. It means a lot to the players. 3 or 4 of them aren't gonna take off with all the prize money. All the players on the top are getting paid at least $300-400, and the value of their prizes will continue to increase as we get more revenue.
Sorry for interrupting there.
Hello, MasterRey.
Hi.
Just talking about the leaderboard.
Oh, the newly sorted leaderboard. Nice.
Thank you for noticing.
Yeah, Voddy versus Dewalt will be, if we just go by the results, will be pretty one-sided. And then we have Voddy versus Terror. Yeah, they are a bit closer, but also looks like Voddy is definitely the underdog today.
Poor Voddy. Throwing 2 Brood War Giants at him.
Yeah.
Back to back. Both live.
Yeah, that's also another factor, that he has to play 10 games in a row. So maybe he will be mentally tired after the first show match already.
Come on, Voddy. You can take some games off them.
We will see.
Are these rankings close to what you would have predicted?
Yeah, pretty much. I think I would have put Ziki slightly higher. Yeah,
He's pretty close.
I would switch Terror and Ziki, but apart from that, it almost looks like that would be my prediction. Yeah, I mean, it's easy that I say that now, and obviously I sadly missed the deadline to submit the predictions, but you just have to take my word for it.
Someone says, I think Oya has 10 games remaining. That would be 2 matches, but Oya is playing Dandy at some point. Oya is playing Cross. Does he have 10 games or is it 15?
That would make it 10.
I'm trying to see if I can see his name again. That might be right. I'll double check that, but the number of game wins, losses, the ratio should be correct for that. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, it's been a real mess trying to keep up with updating the stats for the leaderboard for this kind of format, but the results should be more or less accurate. We'll double check it, of course, before the final event. Thank you for pointing that out. The first matchup, Dewalt vs. Voddy, should be happening around 1910 Central European Time. (1:10 p.m. Eastern).
Yep, and I mean Dewalt, he almost even beat Scan in a show match last week, so I think his PvT should be quite good. LML in the chat, nice.
He went out for a walk, and he's having his dinner, but he will be joining us to cast for the first time. If you're watching this on YouTube, guys, all the casters are well-known community members. They're either players or cast events, they have streams, they're active on TLNet. So you may have heard their names before, but if not, just know that they're sort of active in the Brood War community, or they just want to, you know, cast for the first time. We got a pretty inclusive philosophy here and try to involve different people in our events when it comes to casting.
Yep.
Should point out a sponsored match we got tomorrow before our Best of the Best Tour event on Saturday, April 10th, starting at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. That's 19:30 Central European Time. That's 12:30 p.m. Peru time. We have a live show match between Dandy and Siki. 9 whole games. It should be awesome. Before that, we're showing Kala vs. Scan, a best of 7. This is recently pre-played. So we'll begin with that, and then we'll get to the live match between Dandy and Siki. Big shout out to Trovo. This will be on our Trovo team account. The link is on the bottom, trovo.live/teamthinkquickttv. We are sponsored by them, as well as Esport Fund. It should be a good event. If you can, please tune in. Your viewership is important. If you can't contribute to the matcherino of this page, that's fine. But just viewership is important. It helps us basically convince Trovo to continue sponsoring more events for us to host on there. Great way to support foreign Brood War players, you know, in the community. So please tune in. Trovo also has a streaming program where you can get paid for streaming. It's not something that we're aspiring to, but we have tried to raise awareness around Trovo.live. They're competing with other stream sites, so they had to come up with incentives to make their platform more attractive. And one of the things is their streaming program where you get paid based on meeting certain performance requirements. Dandy is streaming on there, and various Latin American caster streamers. Jan Remastered, Death Fate, Bob Malcolm, Ultra. Cork even has an account, and some other individuals. I'm sorry if your name didn't come to my mind. But it'd be great to see more Brood War content on there and people trying to get into the streaming program. Great way to support Brood War players. They also have the whole subscription model, but I think getting paid for meeting certain performance requirements is just awesome. So that's going on tomorrow before the Best of the Best Tour events. And tomorrow we have Cross vs. Dragon live. We got Bonnet vs. Siki live. Yeah, so Siki's got 9 games against Dandy, and then he's got to play Bonnet live 5 games. And the last match is between Kogan and Striker. So 3 good matches tomorrow. Best of the Best Tour. It's been awesome, guys. Every single matchup you get is pretty good. Not to pick on no-name or less-known names, but, you know, I think it's a pretty cool format. Something to look forward to. People have been a little spoiled. They've gotten used to the whole, you know, Dewalt for Standy, Bonnet for Siki, because you're getting those matches every week, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a difference if you have 12 players where every single player plays each other player in the tournament, compared to a tournament where you have maybe like a round of 64 where the first 2 or 3 rounds are maybe the 5th best player against the 60th best player. Usually a bit more one-sided match, not as close or exciting. So this is definitely a difference here.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Looking forward to 2 live matches. BSL Season 12 has started, so you can play in that. They have 4 different divisions, from the best to the worst StarCraft players. Just Google Bombastic Star League and you'll get more information about that if you've never heard about it.
Yeah, I wonder if people have not heard about BSL yet.
I think there's a lot of people. Yeah, especially viewers from YouTube. But it might be that they're just viewers and fans and not really players.
Yeah.
It's the biggest StarCraft remastered league. The most prestigious. It's been going on for years. Outside of Korea. Really inclusive. People from all around the world participating in it. Getting into the divisions. MasterRey has played in, I'm guessing, countless of seasons. He's an official caster for BSL as well. Big shout out to them. Esport Fund, which is sponsoring Bombastic Star League, sponsoring Team Thinkquick, sponsoring everybody, really. They've spent over $175,000, guys. Big shout out to them. I wanted to mention they have something called the Russian Cyber Games. They've had 2 of those before in 2019 and 2020. There are Wikipedia articles about that. If you're interested, just type in Russian Cyber Games. They have one going on in 2021 in August. Artosis will be participating in it. I'm not sure if he's casting some of the games. But anyways, it should be fun. They have a minimum $10,000 prize pool, guys. Which is crazy. It's all going to the players. And all donations, sub money, I think goes onto the prize pool. If they get it to 20,000, I think they're going to promise a Russian Cyber Games 2022. And the prize pool of Russian Cyber Games 2022, I think it would be $20,000. So they keep like doubling it. Just fantastic. So yeah, if you're a competitive Brood War player, that's probably something you want to check out, learn about, try to participate in, qualify. BSL, their team will be broadcasting it, I believe. Yeah, they did a fantastic job with the Russian Cyber Games 2020, which Dewalt won. I believe Dandy got 2nd place and Bonnet got 3rd. Bonnet won Russian Cyber Games 2019. Just wondering who won 2nd place of Russian Cyber Games 2019. Is it? Oh, it's Terror. Yeah.
The 2 Peruvian Terrans coming 2nd place.
3rd place was True Touch. 4th place was Koget. It's good money, guys. Bonnet won $4,700. Terror won close to $2,700. True Touch won close to $1,600. Koget won over $500. Fantastic. Yeah, I think the revival of Brood War, if I could use that phrase, I mean, a lot of it is owed to these guys. So if you haven't heard about them, they're really, you know, the guys who are making it happen. Sorry, I couldn't think of anything better to say. They're just behind everything and really not getting the credit I think that they deserve. So, big thank you to Rustbrain and Esport Funds. There's a lot of things they could be doing with their money and time, right? Instead of investing in this old stupid game. No offense to everyone. But they've done that, and part of it is because they don't just love the game, but it's the community.
Also, I think many people don't know, but the Brood War G's Weekly is also
Thank you.
Organized by Rustbrain and sponsored by Esports Fund. So that's basically a tournament every single week, on top of those big, huge tournaments that Ox just mentioned.
And the tournaments each week, how long has that been going on for? I believe since 2019. And each tournament is about $100. The format has changed a little bit, but I think they're weekly tournaments on Saturdays. I think they're best of ones. And Koreans are allowed to participate, and I think you get a bonus if you knock one out. They have something called a Korean bounty kill. Really cool, like, format. And a lot of players are participating in it, including Dandy and I think Siki tomorrow, who are playing in our event. We delayed it a little bit because they're participating in BWG's Weekly. So yeah, Google that. There's a Wikipedia article about it. There's a full list of everyone who's participated in it, who's won it. Really nicely done Wikipedia article. They have such a refreshing map pool as well. All kinds of like really old school maps. So that is a really good plugin.
Refreshing for the viewers, maybe. but for the players, some maps I
Yeah.
think can be more frustrating, like Rush Hour 3 or 815. They are a bit weird, but I mean it's always nice to see matches on maps that we don't see everywhere every single week. So
I think
it's
that's
certainly
right.
refreshing.
Because you got those in ladder, you have those. Even we have 3 of them at least in ours. Polypoid, Sulfid Eclipse, and BSL. You have a few. Voddy has entered the channel on BattleNet. He's getting pumped up, getting ready to play Dewalt. LML has joined the voice channel.
Yes, hi.
Hey, my friend, thank you for joining us.
Gladly.
I'm gonna turn you up.
Yeah, a bit quiet, I want to say.
Yeah.
MasterRey and LML have met in real life, I'm told. They're both from Germany. Wonderful community members. LML also admins for BSL.
That's true.
He has a deep, sexy voice.
I do, yeah. Don't get too turned on.
Too late.
No, I'm sorry.
Cork has told me to tone down the sexual connotations of some of my remarks, so I'll stop there. But yeah, it's great to have you guys.
I'm happy to be here.
LML is a huge fan of Terror U.
Yes. I try to catch as many of his streams as possible.
I've seen you in his stream channel.
Yeah. very
You
well.
watch him before you go to bed because he usually comes on a little bit later European time.
Yeah. Sadly, I can't catch all the streams.
Well, I didn't know that. What's your reason for that? Are you interested in his streams, in his personality, or is it something about his gameplay?
I think it's a little bit of everything. In general, I prefer Terran streams for some reason when playing in first person, and Terra is also a really nice guy.
And you're a Protoss player,
Yeah.
MasterRey as well. We should probably get that out there.
Yeah,
It's like a stigma these days. Yeah, I play Protoss.
yeah. If you're on Twitch, it definitely is.
But guys, don't worry. We only play Protoss for the honor. We could easily reach S rank on Terran as well, so we have all the knowledge for today.
Easily.
Easily, yes. Alright, the vault should be coming and we'll start soon. I'll run a promo video in the meantime. And we're back. Voddy versus Dewalt. Got LML
Yep.
and MasterRey. They're gonna hold us down. They're gonna tell you everything.
Yeah, we hope so.
You're in
We
safe
have an
hands.
interesting match here. Dewalt coming out of a 4-5 close loss against Scan. And Voddy, I think he lost his last match 5-0 or 0-5 against Oya. So if we go by the win rate or by the recent results, we should definitely favor Dewalt here. But I'm very interested to see or to hear all of your other predictions as well. First of all, viewers, please put your predictions in the chat now for the full 5-game show match. It's not the best of 5. It's always 5 games, okay? So put your scores in the chat, please. And yeah, apart from that, LML, what do you think?
I also think that it's going to go to Dewalt today. He's just playing so good lately. Except for that one weekend where he played against Terror and Bonus, he has performed exceptionally. And he's number 1 right now for a reason in BBT.
Yeah, I definitely think so as well. I would also... I think I have to predict the 5-0, to be honest.
Yeah, I would say the same actually.
Alright, guys. First game will be on Polypoid. Let's get the predictions up. Bet your channel
Yes.
points.
I started the prediction in the chat, guys, on top of the chat. You can now use your channel points and maybe lose them all, or you can win a lot. So go.
Oh, someone is betting big on Body.
So far, almost nobody bets for Dewalt. Very interesting. Very interesting prediction so far. But yeah, let's see how it goes. 1.5 minutes. So we are starting the game here on Polypoid, and we have in the bottom left in magenta our pros player Dewalt, and yeah, maybe red and blue is better. You're right. The dark blue is always hard to read. Yeah, and in the top right we have Voddy, of course.
I just changed the colors as part of my intros. I know it's confusing, but deal with it.
Okay. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Normal opening for both of them. LML, what do you think? Will we see any certain strategies depending on the positions here?
It looks like Dewalt is going for the 12 next. So that's already lucky for him that it's cross position.
Yeah, for sure.
It's almost like he knew. And Body on the other hand is going for a wall in it. So he's afraid. Or he wants to hide something.
We definitely have seen Dewalt going for some zealot plays lately against Terran. So yeah, that's a nice response by Voddy, of course, if he did some research or so, but of course we know in this position against the 12 Nexus, that's quite unfortunate for Voddy here.
Yeah. Depends how many Marines he pumps out early on. He is about to scout it. And he always has the option to go for a rush.
Yeah, that's true. So far he has taken the gas, and I think he's mining with one
Yeah.
worker, so it looks like he wants to go for a normal one factory expansion here. He has scouted Dewalt by now, of course. He can see everything. He sees the position that he's in, and he is actually producing marine. So I don't think you would do that if you just want to take your expansion yourself and don't be aggressive. So I think, yeah, we'll see probably a push with the first tank here, maybe with a vulture.
Yeah. He's making a vulture and he sent out a second SCV. So that's interesting. If he's trying to make a bunker, but he's not sending out the marines quite yet. There they go.
Yeah, pulling a lot of SCVs here, and that's also a nice reaction to seeing the one gate, in my opinion, because we see a lot of protos going for a 12 nexus and then start 2 gates right away to have some additional units to don't let the bunker going for stop the bunker from going up. But in this case, what you can see, there's only one gate, so he sees that he can maybe do some damage.
Yeah, and especially with the SCV train coming in. Those can block a lot of damage and keep the zealots from jumping onto the marines.
Okay, let's see. First goon is out. Oh, bunker getting started very, very far to the left, to be honest. Probes could kill that SCV for sure. But so far, killing the 2 zealots. I mean, Voddy just has way more because he voted on 1 gate.
Yeah. Well, he's that bunker is really close to the high ground, which might make it easier to target from the top, but also you can't have as many goons attacking since the ramp is only so big.
Guys, this was nicely done by Voddy. He just took out the expansion of Dewalt. I mean, they're still both on one base, so how do you compare who's doing better right now, other than saying Dewalt lost his expansion?
I wouldn't necessarily say that Dewalt has lost the game or anything. He's surely a little bit behind, but it's definitely always playable if you trade well, if you kill the bunker with your goons and maybe kill some of the marines or a vulture. You can always come back. I mean, the Terran also used a lot of SCVs and he also lost some SCVs in that attack. But yeah, this is very nice, LML, what you said, that only, it looks like 2 goons can attack, but he has actually 3 SCVs repairing. So, Dewalt has to go in bunker range if he wants to kill that bunker, I think.
What does Voddy do now? He just contains, delays, gets his expansion up, and then defends?
Pretty much.
You guys think he can do it?
He might be able to. It depends on what Dewalt is doing now. He might go for reverse to deal some extra damage. And if Voddy is not defending that well, then he might lose way too much economy and allow Dewalt to get back into the game. There's no robotics facility support bay yet. So he's just going for the observer for now.
Oh, not running into the mines, very nice. Okay, now he will kill that bunker, kills 1 more SCVs in the process. And now he has a lot of goons here. Looks like 7 goons, 2 more probably spawning soon. So 9 goons, and now it's Voddy's turn to defend. Can Voddy defend this? I think he has 2 tanks by now?
Definitely needs siege mode.
The machine shop is not spinning. Does he have it already, or is it very late? Oh, now it starts spinning. Uh-oh. I'm not sure if he can defend this without siege.
Yeah. It's adding a bunker. Spider-Mines won't help him with the observer art. And there's a
Double
shuttle.
expansion behind this.
Yeah, he's going for reverse.
I think this position is actually totally fine for Dewalt. We can look at the supply. Of course, Protoss is usually ahead of the Terran, but not by this much, I think. I think Dewalt is in a good position. He has a lot of workers, and Voddy lost some in the attack.
And he abused this position really well. But he had no siege mode up, so he dealt a lot of damage, killed some STVs. Smart move.
Okay, and now we have a 3 base versus 2 base situation where Dewalt is ahead 20 supply. Oh, losing some vultures against it. Or losing some probes against the vulture. But I mean, the aggression of Dewalt is not stopping. Now the Reaver's coming, so Dewalt can even do more damage and improve his position further.
Voddy is expanding again, but I think he's lacking tech. I didn't see an academy or an armory yet. So there will be no Goliaths to stop it. But he's doing building a turret ring. And unless there's speed on the shuttle, then the shuttle won't get in without the speed.
I think there's no turret at the very top. I think he can unload the... okay, it's there.
Could get in, drop the Reaver, fly back out, kill the turret and come back in.
Yeah. Oh, but shuttle already taking some damage here, so I don't think he will actually commit. He will just park the Reaver properly. Yeah. Oh, he has speed now, so...
Speed and an additional shuttle.
Yeah. So, I want to do Quark's job here. Whenever this is happening, he's mentioning that... I'm not sure who it was. I think Terror. He countered this, specifically against Dewalt, who always goes for double shuttle, with having 2 turrets, so that the double shuttles cannot fly in that easily. But if he doesn't have double turrets, then it's very easy for the double shuttles to get into the main and do a lot of damage. But maybe he wants to use it on the tanks as well. Let's see.
Looks like he's trying to bust.
Oh, very nice first drops and shots by the Reaver.
Also, the Zealot bombs did a lot of damage.
Yeah, and those 3 tanks are all together, and the Reaver is not getting hit at all. This is over. GG.
GG. That was a perfect timing by Dewalt.
Yeah.
Do you call that a comeback?
Oh yeah.
I don't think so.
Or was it just not a very good... I don't know how to make sense of that. Voddy stopped his expansion, but it didn't work out for him at all.
Well, the thing is that Voddy had to use a lot of his own economy to stop that expansion. He transferred a lot of SCV, he lost a bunch of them.
Yeah, and Voddy didn't really kill a lot of probes, so Dewalt run the probes away. And we have to remember, Voddy was on 1 base the whole time anyway, so yes, he killed the Nexus, the expansion of Dewalt. But he is on the same number of bases after killing it, with 7 workers across the map, not mining in his base. So in the end, this really shows you that killing a fast Nexus is usually not enough for the Terran. If he doesn't kill some probes or so, it doesn't mean that the Protoss is behind.
Yeah, especially if you commit so many SCVs.
There's a question in chat what Voddy could have done using tanks in the push to maybe have a contain up. I think another option is also maybe don't use as many SCVs and hope that you can still kill the Nexus with less units. but I'm not sure hard. On cross position, it's hard in anyways.
Yeah, I think pure STVs would be the answer. If you commit all your units to the front, a drop will do immense damage. You don't know what he's doing. He didn't see what Dewalt was attacking.
Yeah, and now we have the second game. Can Voddy come back? The map is Neo Sylphid, and in the bottom right we have Dewalt, and in the bottom left we have Voddy.
So Voddy seems to be going for a wall again. Sending his STV out. And he's walling his natural. That means he can expand a lot easier. And he wants to go for an early expansion.
Interesting. Dewalt not going for a fast expansion this time. I mean, on Sylphid, I think the distance between the bases is also a little bit shorter, so it definitely makes sense to not go for a 12 Nexus on this map, I think.
Yeah, also your chances of getting scouted on the third position are not here. You always have that 50-50 chance of getting scouted first.
Okay, by the way, I have forgotten to start the prediction, but now it's up, guys. You can use your channel points again. Prediction is up for 1 minute for game 2 here.
Thank you.
That means I got all my points. Thanks, Dewalt.
Oh yeah, I've seen, I think Twitch did a recent change that moderators of channels can now also bet, right?
As long
Yes.
as you didn't run the prediction yourself.
Ah,
No,
damn
even
it.
then, you can do it, but you can't close the prediction if you bet.
Oh, so you can bet even if you did the prediction yourself.
Yeah, at least that's how I understood the text when I read it.
Okay, MasterRey, so bet your channel points.
I will for the next time, but now we have the game already picking up speed here with Voddy taking the expansion very quick as expected with that little wall there in the natural, and also starting the bunker now. So yeah, that wall should make him very safe against the zealot that is coming, but is it in range of the bunker? I'm not sure. Oh, already losing the first SUV there.
Yeah, and also the one that's building the bunker. But
Yeah,
this
but
was a
I
gasless
think he's
expansion.
fine.
Yeah, he's definitely fine. And it's a gasless expansion, so it's an early CC and a delayed tank, which will be out at like 550, I believe. So there's some time to harass the bunker with dragoons and forcing the Terran to spend minerals on repairing.
Yeah, that's also very important. You don't want to let the Terran get away with a fast expansion. If you have started your units earlier, then you should use them somehow, and forcing repair is definitely nice.
But Dewalt did react quite well. He made his Nexus before his Goon, apparently. So he has a fast expansion too. And going for the quick robotics.
Yeah, only very slightly behind Voddy's expansion here. Yeah, so we can't really say there's an advantage for anyone here, I think. We have to see what the Reaver can do, if he goes for it.
I think it's the most likely. Dewalt definitely loves his Reavers, and in general his drop play. Oh, and Voddy is
Okay.
going for a proxy factory.
Ah, that's interesting. I've not seen him do this before so far. And I don't think it will be scouted, so that's a 2 factory push that he's doing after an expansion. If Dewalt goes for like a fast Reaver and is short on goons because of that, because he's only on 1 gate, I can definitely see it working if Voddy really hits him before the Reaver and the shuttle's out.
Yeah, but 2 factories is pretty standard with this build. But what's not standard is making it outside your base, and if Dewalt would have all his dragoons attacking the bunker, he could run in with the vultures for free. But this game, it's not working out that way. Dewalt only has 1 dragoon up front and 2 actually at his natural.
Oh, look at that probe. Oh, look
Wow.
at that.
Who actually sent the probes there, man? I think it just wanted to expand and went a little too far to the left.
Could
Because
be.
he has the perfect amount of minerals for our Nexus.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so he denies that. And also that first vulture is not getting the natural, even dying. Wow, so both vultures actually dead for Voddy, so this really didn't help him at all. And I think with that, Dewalt should definitely be ahead here, because Voddy is missing a lot of production rounds from this floating factory, and he already lost 2 units from it.
Yeah. Usually you want to have 2 factories pumping out tanks, and now it's only 1, and the other one was basically useless. That's a huge setback. But he's adding a starport to make up for it, and if he can get some damage on Dewalt's economy, that's going to give him a chance to come back for sure.
I can't see it working, to be honest, because we see the observer here in the
Yep.
base anyways, so Dewalt knows everything. Because of this proxy, Voddy also didn't have a turret ring up or anything like that, so with all the scouting information, I just can't see Dewalt taking damage, because very often he's not even taking damage when he has no scouting information. He's just sensing it, but now he has all the information he needs.
He saw the starport, but he only saw that Race is making. Oh, and he's sniping that observer. That's beautiful. And he's not adding an add-on for the starport, so he's not going for drops. He just wants to defend against the shuttles. He's pretty certain that Dewalt will go for the shuttle play, it seems. And he's right. There's a shuttle. Reaver just popped out.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, whenever you're playing Dewalt, you're pretty much always right when you expect the shuttle with the Reaver. So
True.
I don't see why more people just don't go race blindly every game against Dewalt.
Yeah. He did the turret ring last game, which worked out against the drops, but not against the bust. And this time he's going for the race. Switching it up a little bit. But Dewalt saw the race, so he's not even attempting to go anywhere near body space right now with the shuttle. It's actually sitting in his own base.
Yeah, he will probably use the shuttle and the Reaver in a fight, and will not fly out the shuttle by itself.
Exactly. Just like we saw last game when he busted. Dropping those salads and the Reaver, it dealt a lot of damage.
Yeah, so in the last game, Voddy was going for a rather quick third base himself, and that's why he moved out. This time, it doesn't look like he wants to move out that early, because there's no command center building. I think he's on 4 factories, oh, but hold the thought. Shuttles are coming in. Race, sadly missed the shuttles here.
They get in for free.
Man.
That's a lot of salads. He dropped the Reaver first,
Yeah.
which made it take a lot of damage in the beginning. But those salads are just wrecking havoc.
Okay, but he kills the Reavers. He's defending the goons in the front. He lost like 3 tanks maybe. Okay, saves that one. Yeah, but of course that's very unfortunate that he has 2 Wraiths actually, and he completely missed the 2 shuttles. So that did a lot of damage anyways.
Yeah. And he also tried to bust from the front, which didn't work out as well as he thought. And Voddy is taking his third base now. Looks like he's taking the mineral only instead of taking a gas expansion. And Dewalt saw that. I guess he's taking his force as in return.
I mean, he also killed some tanks there, so he probably knows that Voddy can't really push out. If your tank count gets reduced as a Terran, you're not in a very strong position to fight. But okay, yeah, Voddy, of course, he moves out to secure that third base a bit, but he's not actually moving out on the map to attack Dewalt here. So Dewalt gets away with the fourth expansion.
Yeah, he knows there's no pressure coming anytime soon. He's adding on a lot of gateways now. Or just finished adding them on. So his production is going to go through the roof very soon. He's up 50 supply now.
Yeah, so Dewalt here in a very good position. Can we take a look at the upgrades? I think we have +1 for Voddy, +1 for Dewalt, okay. Oh, +0 for Voddy, okay. Okay, okay, just finished. Just as I say that the +1 for Voddy finished. So we have +1 for +1, and now we have the attack. And with so much of a supply advantage, I could definitely see Dewalt taking it here.
Yeah, Strop already dealt a bunch of damage, killing 2 tanks with a Reaver and a Spider-Mine. Oh, but Voddy holds.
Yeah, wow, lost. He walked into some mines, and maybe his zealot count was slightly too low. Ah, oh, look at that, like 20 zealots in front of his natural man. If he had that in the fight, I'm sure he would have taken it, but unfortunate for Dewalt here.
Oh well, once again he removed the tank count, so he's probably feeling very confident right now. He's taking his 5th space behind this, while Voddy is taking his 4th space.
Yeah.
There's a
And
drop.
I think in this situation, yeah, okay, let's check this drop here. I guess there's another Reaver.
Oh, Storm. That hurts.
3 here, killing another 3 or 4, so 6 or 7 killed, but the Rays are coming.
A little too late. Shuttle gets away. It's a perfect crime.
Yeah,
that new style.
Very nice.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the new style with the high Templar drops in PvT is definitely hurting the turn economy a lot if done right. But you can also spend too much focus on trying to get SCVs that you don't have enough units and then just die to a push.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But I think Dewalt is in a good supply advantage here that he definitely don't have to worry about having too few units. But I also like that Voddy he's not going giving up or going for like an all-in push or so. He's actually this drop is very nice, killing that cannon, killing some probes, but also that he's taking 4th base rather early, despite being relatively low in supply. If he can hold it, he's definitely coming back into the game. But can he?
Yeah. That's a lot of... And he gets right on top of the tanks. All the vultures were at 6 o'clock. And he just cleans all of it up.
And that should be GG.
Yeah. There's nothing left to defend. And GG. That was well played. He kept pressuring, reducing the army of Voddy, and then taking the advantage economically.
Yeah, and how did it start? I think it started, the advantage for Dewalt started with that 2 shuttles that flew in to Voddy space. And it's very unfortunate. Voddy, he wanted to hard counter that strategy by getting 2 Wraiths actually. Sometimes we see Terran get 1, but he actually get 2 even. But he still lets shuttles fly in, so that's very unfortunate for him. So that must be frustrating. He had the right idea, but I don't know how you can say, what you can call it. Like he was unlucky or he didn't execute it correctly. I'm not sure. But yeah, Dewalt taking that early advantage and then just keeping it by constantly reducing the tank load. Very nice.
Well said. Now we're starting with game 3 on Eclipse this time, 2-player map. So 12 Nexus is probably out of the question.
Yeah, and maybe on a 2-player map, this Zealot Rush can also work. We have seen, I think, even Dewalt doing, for example, a gateway in the natural to have the Zealot a little bit early in the Terror base. That's definitely an option on a 2-player map, but let's see.
Yeah, forward gate is definitely very strong. But he saw that Voddy was walling pretty well in the last few games, so he's not going for it.
Okay, and the prediction is now up again in the chat, guys. Spend your points.
More points for me. Okay, this time Voddy is actually not opting for the wall. He's going for the supply depot right under the CC to make the SCV spawn slightly closer to the minerals.
And now getting that Rex, so that he can move Marines between Rex and Depot against the Zealot Rush.
And he's afraid of a proxy in his main base. Scouting for it. Very common on this map to find proxy gates in your base or around your base. There's so many proxy locations here.
Is Dewalt known for doing anything like that, though?
I have personally not seen it from Dewalt going for that proxy 2-gate. Maybe 1-gate, but not 2-gate.
I've also only seen him go 1-gate proxy, not 2-gate.
Yeah, so this looks pretty normal. Both players going for their first fighting unit production building and then into the gas.
Yeah. The probe actually blocked his second supply depot, which is for the perfect position to kite against Zealots here. That way you have 2 different positions to run away.
Okay, we see Voddy pulled out SCV from the gas. Oh, will he lose that SCV? That is pretty close. The Marine is very far away. Can he do it?
He hides
Okay,
it
he
well.
cannot. Gets repaired as well. Probe has to leave against 2 Marines. But yeah, what I wanted to say is he pulled SCVs out of gas. So that means he will go for an expansion. He will not go for anything like 2-fact or so. And Dewalt so far is not choosing his tech because the SCV is still here and alive, of course. But we'll see in a second.
Voddy's going for a fast expansion. Off of 1 factory. He only made a bunch of Marines, enough to fill a bunker. Nothing to push out.
And even lifting the Rex here. Oh, only 2 Marines, okay. Yeah, just for the bunker. Bunker gets up before the Goon arrives, so that's very nice. And Dewalt going for Nexus himself. I'm interested about Dewalt's gas count, to be honest. He's going for... He had 300 gas when he took the Nexus, so... usually, if you want to go for just a very economic play. You pull out probes out of gas so that you can get the Nexus a little bit earlier. But since Dewalt has so much gas banked up, I'm pretty sure he will go for Speed Shuttle. Or DTs.
Yeah. And he just placed, I think, a robotics facility. Yeah. So shuttle play once again, most likely.
Yeah.
I also like that Voddy made the bunker way in the front. That way, any Dragoon that wants to run in to check if there's a CC up has to take a lot of extra damage.
He's trying to pressure the bunker here, but with the tank out, should be no problem. Siege mode
out for them.
Okay, 2 gates. It's have we seen him at 2 gates after the robotics in the previous games? I'm not sure about this. Maybe he wants to go for a bust with the shuttle.
That might be, or he's afraid of an early push. 3 tank pushes are pretty popular. I'm not sure if you do that off of one factory, so he's going for the tech. He's going for the armory this time. Early upgrades, academy too. Pretty standard. And I think he's adding a second factory right now.
Yeah. And that academy will give him the ability to scan pretty soon, of course. And yeah, then he will probably see the main base. And is there robotic support base started already? I don't see it. So interesting. He still has some gas.
Yeah, well, we saw the same thing on Polypoid. He went for the observatorium first and then waited a long while before adding the support bay. So he's probably not rushing speed shuttles, but he might still go for it later on because he doesn't want to do early harass but use it for busting.
No. And so far we don't see turrets for Voddy, so the fact that Dewalt is not going for the shuttle here is nice for Voddy because he's actually saving the money for the shuttle, for the turrets, and actually doesn't need them, so that's nice.
And Voddy is going for 5 factories, and Dewalt sees it immediately. And Voddy knows, he saw the observer blur.
Yeah. There was also that armory researching +1 in the natural, I think, so he should have seen that as well. Okay, gets the observer with the second scan here. Yeah, so we'll probably see that +1 push by the Terran. Can be pretty strong on Eclipse, but I think as a Protoss, if I scan that with an if I scout that with an observer, when the factories are actually starting to build, then I always feel very good and I can just make gates and have plenty of units to defend that.
Voddy is an observer killer, guys.
Yeah, he always does it.
I love
Everything again.
No vision for you, Dewalt.
Yeah. It's also, it wastes a lot of gas for the Protoss. You always want to have a bunch of observers out. So getting them sniped is really frustrating.
Jeez, actually pushing right now already? Looks like he is. Oh, but nice catch by Dewalt here. That observer, you can see it. He lost 2 observers, but even has a 3rd one because he knows that it's so important and can give you so much vision to do stuff like this. This is exactly why you need a lot of observers.
Yeah, and he's killing all the reinforcements. Or at least he tries to. And that forces Voddy to stay close to his base. And delaying the push of the Terran is always really important. That way you can get more units up and actually feel safe to take the engage.
Okay, so of course Dewalt loses everything here. Yeah, the push gets delayed, but 5 goons are lost, so maybe around even, but yeah, I think you're right. I think the delay of the push is even more important than those 5 goons, because he has so many gates now that he can produce even more units than 5 in that time.
He's just flying in.
Oh, and what he's actually going back? Oh
Yes.
no.
Oh, they're goons too. This is beautiful.
Wow, he's just losing everything against those few goons and the Reaper. Oh man.
Dewalt is playing this perfectly. He keeps forcing Voddy back. He keeps forcing his SCVs to change mineral lines, losing him a lot of mining time.
Yeah, and I mean, Voddy wanted to go for a nice big early push, and he's still not pushing. He wanted to push like 2 minutes ago, and he's still in the base chasing that speed shuttle with tanks.
Yep.
Okay, finally, Shuttle and Reaver die, but you just have to look at the supply and you know that this push has been so much delayed that it can never work anymore.
Yep. That push is over. It got denied. He can basically just take a third base now. But Dewalt is going for another push. He has 2 more speed shuttles. He also has at least 1 Reaver in there. And he's just flying in. Oh, okay. That was a misclick. He's waiting for his army. Alright, Voddy has to move back once more.
Voddy going again. Oh my god. This is a game of going back, but then losing your units. Oh man.
GG.
GG.
I have to say, that was played so beautifully by Dewalt. Every time Voddy moves out, he does something to force him to come back. And he can always deal damage because all these units are not positioned perfectly because of all the moving back and forth. And he's just abusing the fact that Terran is so immobile.
Yeah, and of course that's what happens when the Protoss can scout your 5 factories that early. You can just prepare, you can have 2 groups of goons at each side of the pushing path and then just do that.
I think also Voddy trying to move out again at the end was not the right move. He had lost too much power of his 5 factory push.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe he was too frustrated and didn't want to play the game anyways. I mean, what's the alternative? You can obviously... I guess the better alternative would be to stay and get a third base and then go for the 200 supply army. But when you're so far behind, Dewalt will have like 7 bases and 30 gateways and overrun you anyways, so maybe he just didn't want to see that.
That's always another point. When you are playing against Dewalt, you are like, okay, I could go for 3 base, camp up, go 3 to 200, 200. But I'm playing against Dewalt. So either I make something happen now, or I'm dead soon.
You guys think Voddy's initial push would have been more effective had Dewalt not separated his goon army? He had 1 group up on the platform, and that caused Voddy to basically go back, and he lost, I think, a tank.
Yes. That made a huge difference.
If Dewalt's army was all together and he got pushed back to his base, you think Voddy might have been able to contain him? Or no, Dewalt already had 2 expansions and he was just macroing up and he would have busted?
If the Terran gets into position with siege tanks and spider mines, that would give him way more power than having to move back and forth, being unsieged, vultures stuck behind slow tanks, and sniping reinforcements. So it could have ended differently. I mean, Dewalt could have still broken the containment, obviously, but it definitely would have looked a lot different.
Yeah, I agree. By that time, I think the Reaver was not out yet. There was no shuttle speed, and also since Dewalt went for a third base and added the gates afterwards, I think the gate 5, 6, and 7 were not or have not kicked in yet. So maybe there was a higher chance.
Yeah, they were just coming up. But Dewalt did the right thing.
Okay, so next game is up. Prediction is also up, guys. And the map is Demonio Azul here. And we have our Terran in the bottom left, Voddy and Dewalt on the right side here. So a lot of people say this map plays a little bit like Sylphid because it's a 3-player map and it's a flat map. What do you think about that?
Also here, it's basically Sylphid 2 from some casters.
Would the third mineral only be harder to take on this map, or is it the same as Neo Sylphid with that mineral only?
On Sylphid, I think you nowadays don't take the mineral only, usually. And you take the gas expansion, because it's easier to defend. And here it's definitely a lot harder to take a third base.
Yeah. I would also say that the very early game is very similar to Sylphid maybe, but once the Terran tries to take a third base, it gets really hard for the Terran. But once Terran has a 200 supply army, it's super hard for Protoss if he is still on ground units. He needs carriers in the end because of this high ground in the middle that just removes all the flanking possibilities of a Terran. If you have a 200 of the Protoss, I mean, if you have a 200 supply Terran army, you can just get up to this high ground, and the Protoss has to go up little ramps to flank, and it's really hard by that part. So mid game may be harder for Terran, but late game I think can be a little bit easier compared to Sylphid for Terran.
Yep. High ground is always good for Terrans.
Okay, so what do we see here? We have the fast expansion for Voddy after the Rex and after the gas. So, but a little bit interesting.
I think it was not a gasless, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm a little bit confused myself. There's no factory, but it's also not a gasless expansion. Interesting.
Yeah. And he was almost up to 200 gas when he put down his factory.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely. I'm not sure if my Terran knowledge is that bad, but I don't think so. I don't think you need to take the gas that early if you go for an expansion before the factory. You can still see the gas is at 200 right now, and he doesn't even have minerals to add another factory or anything like that. So that's definitely a bit interesting here for Voddy, but we'll see what he can get.
Maybe it's for something special. Maybe he wants to gas that use that gas soon for something else.
Yeah, we'll probably see a 2 machine shop built here, 2 factories with 2 machine shops, and then double tank production very early.
Yeah.
That could be the reason for that early gas.
Maybe he's going for that famous 3 tank push.
Okay, and Dewalt Going for the Nexus again afterwards. Robotics on one gateway. And now adding another gateway here. Also pretty standard, I would say. Third gate comes as well, so pretty much the same as last game, I would say.
Yeah, it's a pretty standard build. And let's observe us again first. And Voddy is going for the academy again. So there might also be an armory somewhere. I didn't see one.
Yeah, me neither. Okay, might be starting it now, but yeah, so
That's
far.
pretty cool.
So first things out. Okay, vultures afterwards. Interesting.
Only one tank and then vultures? No, it's a second tank, okay. And siege mode.
How significant is it having to repair your bunk with 2 or 3 SCVs, losing the minerals, losing the mining time as Terran versus Protoss? Is it a big deal, you guys think?
Yes, but it's calculated into the strategy. It's definitely a lot of minerals that you're spending, but it still gives you more of an advantage to have that early base up, get more SCVs out from 2 command centers, that it's totally worth it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the alternative would be that if you don't want to repair that and don't want to lose the minerals for repairing and lose the mining time, the alternative would be get the later expansion when you have more units out, right? But that hurts you even more than that repair.
Yeah. Another advantage is you force the Protoss to make Dragoons and attack your bunker, because if he doesn't attack, you get so many more minerals, and you can be really greedy.
Okay, so is there a Reaver coming again? Can we see that building under the Nexus he just placed?
I was just thinking the same thing.
Okay, it's
But
a
it's
forge, so
wow.
no Reavers this time.
Is he afraid of drops? Did he have an observer in the base yet? I guess so, if he has 2 in front of his
I
base.
think so, yeah.
Then he probably stores the starport and is setting the forge to make a cannon in his mineral line.
I'm really not sure about Voddy moving out here. That's a lot of Dragoons. And didn't he just scan that? Oh my god.
Wow, those 2 goons.
It's not going well.
No, it's definitely not going well. He shot that push down easily. The tanks were even sieged up before the engagement.
Yeah,
but that's
that
not
was
enough.
even mines were there. Siege up and mines, so that was the best case scenario for Voddy with that push. The push was just a little bit too weak at all.
Was he trying to secure a third at like 6 o'clock?
He didn't even have a command center yet. He's just started now after the push, so I'm not sure what he was planning there. Did he really like expect to actually kill Dewalt? I don't think so. I don't know. It was a weird push in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't, and he was trying to secure a third, but he could have taken another expansion, so not sure if it was a push or not. He's got an SCV there.
Yeah, I think if he would just want to defend the base, he would have sent them down there immediately and takes the high ground. That way he has it a lot easier to defend.
This time he has 5 tanks. In that push he just had 4 tanks, I think. So he now has more than in that push. So he's fine, of course. But what is Dewalt doing here with that shuttle? Can he actually do anything here? Ah, 3 SCVs, not bad.
Oh wow, those goons. Guarding the shuttle. But he's also...
Oh,
Okay, he's moving away just as the command center comes.
and the shuttle's still there. Did you forget the shuttle? The Embrace can just fly over there and kill it. It's literally
Yep.
a free kill.
Oh,
Yeah.
he realizes now.
I guess he didn't have it in hotkey or so. He probably missed it.
Oh.
So, small little win for Voddy. Doesn't get the shuttle at all, but at least
Yeah.
got the Reaver.
He unloaded that Reaver a little bit too early.
Yeah. So this looks a lot more like he actually wants to take the expansion. I mean, we know it now, of course. But here, the way he moved his tanks and positions his tanks towards the bottom instead of going to the right from his natural, that makes a lot more sense if you want to take a third base. So that push before that was a little bit weird, but now he actually has that pretty much secured. And I mean, that's an important step in a PvT to secure this third base on this map specifically. But we have 2 shuttles approaching.
And it's also gas base, so that's very important for the turn. Oh, that's a nice drop this time with a Dragoon in it. That actually keeps the race off the shuttles. Okay, that did not deal nearly as much damage as it did on Sylphid. And he's counterattacking now to the third base. And he has some trouble moving up the ramps. But he gets up and kills all the tanks on the high ground. And now he can freely harass the mineral line or even kill the command center perhaps.
I want to see him lift and repair. He cannot lose this.
Oh, he's repairing now and he has enough tanks there.
Does he have enough tanks? Yeah, I think now he does. Okay, but he lost a lot of SCVs during that. I think that was too much damage, to be honest. And we can see the supply is almost doubled for Dewalt. Oh, Reaver. Oh, Reaver gets killed. That's nice.
Oh. That's a blunder.
Oh, never mind. It's still alive. Ah,
Okay.
okay, that's it.
Yeah, he takes over that third base. And GG. Wow.
2 slow shuttles getting Voddy out of position, and that's why he could go up to the high ground. Maybe if he had like 2 depots on the ramp, as a wall on that ramp, that would have helped him already. But sadly he did not, so Dewalt just gets up and kills the base.
Yeah, I wonder if a wall would be a good idea there.
You don't think so?
I'm wondering if it might be a good idea.
Yeah.
But who expects anyone to attack up such a tiny ramp against tanks? That's like usually a suicide move. That only works in very few situations.
Yeah, I guess Dewalt, he saw how many units Voddy sent back to deal with the drop, so then he just decided on the fly, oh, you have so many units in your main base now, I guess I can attack here.
Yeah, I think that was it. Seeing how many units came back to defend. And the funny thing is, it allowed him to defend the drop quite easily. But in return, he lost his third base and then the game.
Okay, and now we have game 4 on this array with Dewalt spawning the top right and Voddy spawning in the bottom right. So does these positions change anything about the game compared to maybe a cross position or a close vertically positioned?
I think so. It could make dropping a lot easier, so you have to make more turrets to be safe. You might anticipate it more.
Ah, that could be.
Maybe he's going to go Valkyries against the drops.
Valkyries against drops? I have
I
not
mean,
seen that before. Did you do
no.
it?
I've never seen it before either, but I've also never seen Valkyries against carriers on this, and we saw it on this map from Voddy, so you never know.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, he was playing Bonnet.
Exactly. Also, we seem to see a pretty standard game, and this map seems to force a lot of rushes from players, so seeing a normal wall off and a one gate is pretty refreshing to see out how this map plays. To see how this map plays out.
Yeah, that's true. Because usually at least one of the players goes for fast expansion, and then the other player goes for something aggressive to punish that, and then the games end pretty quickly. But yeah, we have a normal start for both players here.
Yeah, nobody's fast expanding. Okay, actually Dewalt does not have gas. So he's going 2 pylons, probably Zealot Harris. Oh, now he's adding gas. And if he had
he
any
did
Zealots...
that a few times.
Hmm.
He usually goes 2 or 3 zealots before the core, usually 2. And yeah, can see what's... I mean, it makes sense. If the Terran goes for a 14cc here before the Rex, then that zealot can do a lot of damage. So it's a nice choice for this map specifically, I think. But of course, we know that he will probably not do any damage here.
Yeah, but on the other hand, we see that it's really easy to wall in at all positions. So, and we also see a wall from Voddy. Oh, is he trying to bug the Zealot over the mineral only?
That looks to be the case here.
That's a great move.
Can you do it?
He can. Wow, first try. Wow. You can usually spend a lot of time on that and a lot of APM and missing your timings in your build order by doing things like this. But if it works on the first try, it's great.
I think there are definitely ways that work better compared to other ways. But yeah, let's not get into that too much. We have the Zealots scouting everything, of course. The scout information is a very important part of this. Also, delaying the factory a little bit, killing 1 to 2 SCVs is very great. But the scouting is also very important.
Yeah. Seeing the 2 factories, that's critical information. And I wonder if what he thinks it's a proxy gate. I haven't seen him scout his natural. Maybe he's just suspecting that there was a mineral jump. Oh, but there is something built down there at proxy.
Yeah, just starting a pylon there. But the funny thing is, now that Dewalt has seen all of this, and Dewalt is not going for a fast nexus, by the way, Dewalt can just make a lot of units and basically easily crush this 2 factory attack, I think.
He killed the neutral spore. I'm thinking he thought that opens up space that you can go through, but there's a doodad there. Dewalt should know that, though.
Yeah, definitely not the first time on this map here for him. But I'm not sure if it was last week, but recently I've seen other players do this as well, so it's quite interesting.
I wonder if there's any difference, like if a ghost can sneak through after you kill it or something like that.
Oh, maybe.
Okay, so Voddy is actually going for the drop, which is good on this close position, and for the 2 factories. So since Dewalt saw the 2 factories, he might not be expecting a drop.
Yeah, that is true, and I really like the strategy for Voddy on this map, but the fact that Dewalt knows that at least something aggressive is coming up, and is now getting a Zealot into the base again. Oh, not seeing the Stargate. Okay, that was important. Maybe he can... I actually think he could assume that, because the Vultures actually went in a very weird way to the top first, and then blocked the Zealot's way to the top. So I think Dewalt knows.
Also, after killing the Zealots, they all moved there. Like they were waiting to be picked up. And rightly so, Dewalt anticipated the drop. And it's not very effective.
Not at all.
What did he get? 2 probes?
Maybe just 1, I'm not sure. 1 or 2, not more for sure. Yeah, and so for anyone who maybe is not that experienced in playing yourself, when you have a unit dying, you still have like 1.5, maybe 2 seconds of vision. So if the Vultures move up, as you pointed out, to the top there, Dewalt can see that. So
yeah,
that definitely tipped them off there.
I'm not sure if there's a general timer that removes all the fog of war left behind by units at the same time, or if it's individual for each unit. But you should never place down tech in your base just after the scout died.
Yeah.
Your opponent will be able to see it.
Oh!
Oh, just 1 probe dying to the Spider-Man.
I love those moments, guys. I live for them.
Yeah. It's the most exciting part.
Yeah, we like seeing workers get killed. It's
Scarabs and Spider-Mans.
Scarabs are less exciting because I know the first one's always gonna dead. The mines is like, what's gonna happen?
Well, it depends who controls the Reaver and knows how to target the SCVs and stuff. But it can be quite magic if you do it right.
Yeah. I'm a grown-ass man now, guys, and still find that entertaining and fun. It's kind of sad.
No, it's actually awesome that you still find excitement in it.
I'm just joking. We're like little kids.
Just
We
joking,
like explosions.
I hate this game.
So Dewalt is actually taking the mineral only as his third. So we might see some funny ways in the probes trying to go there on the transfer, getting stuck behind the minerals. And now Dewalt is going for the drop.
I think he could even go for a little buzz, because he's also moving his spoons in position, but I don't think he has enough units. Maybe he's waiting for the move out. That is actually happening right now. First Vulture dying already. Has to be careful, cannot lose tanks here.
And Dewalt can't lose goons because he has no gateways.
Yeah, so on the Eclipse game he went for 3 gates and then third base, and then he added like 4 or 5 more. How many gates does he have right now?
I think 4. He's adding a 5th.
Okay, adding gates now, yeah. But overall, because of that failed drop of Voddy in the very beginning, and yeah, the nice Zealot arrest, I think Dewalt is slightly ahead anyway. So with that high ground that you have on this map, leading towards the middle, I think Dewalt can definitely defend a push if decided to push. But yeah, Voddy is not doing it this time. He's just taking third base.
Yeah. He's expanding right next to the pylon. Oh, and he's trying to intercept possible drops at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I think he has seen the dropship by the pylon at the bottom. And he also has seen that it moved away now. It was just sitting there on top of the pylon, I think. And now that Voddy moved it away, definitely the possibility of a drop is in Devolt's mind here.
Yeah. Also, having a dropship alive is always that psychological game. The Protoss is always afraid of getting dropped somewhere.
Yeah, and Devolt is now responding by taking a 4th base. Of course, that's a very normal reaction to seeing the Terran take a 3rd base. That's usually what happens at the Protoss. It's one expansion ahead. But the question is, will Devolt go for like Arbiter next? Or will we see some carriers? I think that's the next question that will come up in this game.
Looks like Arbiters.
Yeah, okay, little drop here, no units in position at all. But I think with 2 vultures and 1 tank, he will probably not kill that Nexus. Will take a little bit too long here and he won't arrive. Yeah, sadly for Voddy that there were no probes here, so in the end, okay, the drop got here unscouted, but he didn't really kill anything, so in the end it was fine for Devolt.
Yeah, it just delayed the probe transfer a little bit, but that's it.
I'm back.
Yeah, there he is again. But there's still no probes to kill, so that's a sad siege tank.
It reminds me of the LT days, because it was so common in almost every game. Just dealing with the tank drops. And it never really went anywhere, right? It was just a constant struggle defending against tank drops.
Well, for me it was always losing my natural to tanks.
Yeah, but then the Terran would be behind.
I did experiment a bit with getting a single scout. If I go for Arbiters anyways, hold that thought. We have vultures coming into the base here. Natural completely undefended, so he's actually getting a lot of damage done this time. 4, 5 probes, 6. That's very nice damage. So many vultures still alive, still doing damage here. He's focusing as well, not just letting the vultures attack zealots. So yeah, I guess around like 12 probes going down. That was
would have loved to see him put down a mine there, because when the probes transfer in a line and your zealots are coming to defend, there's a chance that the mine just explodes and kills all the workers.
Yeah.
But he got a good number.
Yeah, he might also send in vultures that don't have any spider mines left. And use those beforehand.
It's true.
Okay, and so Voddy did some economic damage here, but he used army for that. So in theory, his army is a little bit smaller now, but Devolt's economy, so his production is a little bit smaller. So I think it doesn't make sense to push right now for Voddy, because he just reduced his own army and the economic disadvantage or the economic damage didn't kick in yet for Devolt. So that's
he's got a good number of tanks.
Take.
I think he needs more vultures.
Yes, he does.
Oh, and now that's the position where Devolt wants to attack. Okay, he's actually letting Voddy get to the high ground. That's important for Voddy here.
Yep. The tanks always hit. That makes a huge difference.
Oh, minefield is placed and now Devolt wants to go in? Okay, yeah, I thought so. You definitely don't want to go in.
That's against it.
Yeah, so Voddy getting into a good spot fast enough here, that's nice. But now Devolt is repositioning here. Of course, against the Terran you always want to try to flank the Terran base, or you can also do some backstabs. And
yes,
he's getting in position to do that.
I prefer the backstabs. But Voddy knows. And
will we see
this place is so tight. I don't think there's any recoil protection in body space right now. He knows there are arbiters out. Recoil could be coming soon. In theory. So that arbiter seems to have enough energy for it.
The arbiter was on like 130. So it's definitely an option very soon. And you see Dewalt just going up and down on the left side, forcing Voddy to also go up and down, but this time it looks like Voddy actually missed the movement here. So these units are getting on this high ground. Oh, and this could be disastrous for Voddy. Now his units are not in a perfect position with the minefield anymore, so maybe if Dewalt actually attacks the army now, that could be a very good position for him.
Oh, and he
EMP
EMPs
hits
the
the
arbiter.
arbiter. Very nice for Voddy.
There's also not that many Protoss units, so he's getting pushed back easily. And sieging up actually dealt more damage to himself than to the Protoss.
Yeah, so that was a good fight. There was this little choke. It's hard for pros to fight there. And if you then get your Arbiter EMP'd, that's definitely a good fight for the Terran. Of course, he lost some SCVs again, so his economy is damaged, but at least he didn't lose his army.
He's got to send these reinforcements. He's pretty vulnerable.
Let's
There
see
he goes.
if he can actually do some damage now.
Yeah, there's also a lot of vultures now. Those
Do
are
we have a
very-
second Arbiter somewhere? Okay, there's one. How much
Yeah.
energy does it have? Okay, looks like we have around 100.
Enough.
Enough for stasis.
Yeah. Oh, and
Oh my
look at
god,
those
no!
tanks.
No! No! Don't tell me we see an 8 tank stasis or so. No, Voddy,
Yeah.
please, split your tanks. I
He's
don't
just
want to see it.
wanting to get stasis, man.
Oh no. I'm 100% sure if Dewalt sees this, he would instantly go for it. This tank in the middle there, you get 8 tanks. I think even 9 tanks, to be honest. 9 tanks. That would be the biggest stasis I've ever seen. Oh, goes for the EMP here, but I think the Arbiter dodged. Yeah.
Perfect dodge. Is he still clumped up? Looks like they might want to fight now.
I can't believe he has all the tanks on one spot. Oh my god.
Okay, he's unsieging, so they might spread out a little. Oh, but here comes the go. Just as he was
But-
unsieged.
And the vultures are not in front of the tanks. All the zealots getting on top of the tanks, and this is horrible for Voddy. Nice flank by Dewalt from the left as well, and yeah, GG. Nothing Voddy can do.
GG.
Very good timing for Dewalt, even if he doesn't get the perfect stasis, but it was pretty much the perfect timing.
Yeah. He distracted the vultures to move to the right, and then everything could jump onto the tanks immediately.
Alright guys, every single game win is worth $15.15 right now, so you multiply that by 5 and that's how much Dewalt won
That's
in this
pretty
show
sweet.
match.
more than $75.
That's right. Every single show match is worth $75, past, present, and future until we finish up. So if you want to subscribe, if you want to donate, all the money goes to the prize pool. And players earn money by winning single games, and everyone has won some single games, including Voddy. So please consider supporting this event. 5-0 for Dewalt. He wants to be the best of the best.
Alright,
He wants
he's almost there.
take more single game wins from everyone else than everyone else.
I actually think he is already there, because I think with this win, he definitely secured the spot. I don't think anyone else can overtake him, even if he loses everything 0-5 now, and the second player wins everything 5-0. I think it can't be changed anymore.
I think Bonus still has a chance. If Bonus beats Dewalt. Very convincingly.
Yeah, of course, they still play. Okay, yeah, that could be the final, but man, Dewalt is really doing super well here. That one 0-5 against Terror really hurt him. Otherwise, I think he would have secured it by now for sure.
Yes. I think he would be unstoppable then. He has more than 80% win rate. That's insane. And he's playing against some of the best players here.
Yeah. And Voddy, yeah, sadly taking the next 0-5. So not looking too good for him, but I mean, when you have the very top 12 players, there must be someone who is only the 12th or 11th best player. So of course that player will lose most of the game, but that of course doesn't mean that he's a bad player. He's an awesome player. He just has a very hard competition here.
Yeah. Being the worst player in the top 12 players is definitely nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah. Okay.
So
It looks like we have... Yeah, go ahead.
Obon is asking, who did Voddy 0-5 last time? He actually 0-5'd against a few players. Against Oya last time, and before that against Dandy.
If you want the specific results, guys, go to Liquipedia. There is an article created by FakeFin and others who've updated it. Best of the Best Tour has all the specific results.
It's very detailed.
Pain in the ass to update. Big thank you to everybody who's been doing that, really. Those are the real heroes, guys. You don't hear about them, but they're taking time out of their busy schedules to do that.
We don't even have the build orders on every game on the Liquipedia page. Pretty sad. Just kidding.
Yeah, you know what? The map stats from this Best of the Best Tour is going to be interesting. Especially for the more standard, popular maps. Polycoid, Neosylphid, and Eclipse. Because we got even number of Protoss, Terran, and Zerg players.
Well,
so
except for
cool.
Dragon the Traitor.
Oh, that's true. He race picks against Protoss who plays Zerg.
Playing Zerg sometimes.
Yeah, he messes up the stats, isn't he, a little bit?
Yeah.
And he Dragon. Yeah, we got TerrU versus Voddy live, guys. They're in the channel. I asked if Voddy needed a few-minute break. He said, hell no. Well, he said no. He's not the type to say hell no. He's a gentleman. He's not a savage like me. So he's ready to go.
It is a capital N from the no. So that could mean something. But I'm not sure if he... just is in the flow and wants to play the next game, or he just doesn't want to think about that last series anymore, so he wants to get in the next game very quickly. I'm not sure.
Let's get him for a post-game interview.
Starting.
Ask him how he feels.
Yeah. If he wants to, after playing 10 matches in a row, sure, but...
No, I wouldn't do that to him.
Him being tired. Yeah.
Congratulations to TerrU. Won second place. Bombastic Star League Season 11. Grabbed $1,200, which goes a little longer way in Peru.
Yeah, and he actually went on vacation right after, so...
I think he's supposed to, yeah. On the 11th, he told me, or something.
Very soon.
But he should have his laptop with him, and I think he uses a mouse. He's got some BBT games left. I think he's still participating in BSL Season 12, so he wants to play the qualifying games.
Yeah, we definitely need him. I think he's already qualified anyway, so he doesn't need to ladder.
Terra vs. Voddy, TVT, guys. Voddy's TVT is supposed to be his strongest matchup.
Okay. Well, against Terra, who has also done really well in TVT recently. That's going to be put to a good test.
Okay, let's hear what you think, guys. In the chat there, put your scores in the chat for this best of 5 between Terror and Voddy, which is starting now on the first map, Holy Point.
Terra playing in magenta as usual. Trademark color. And Voddy playing in yellow.
I like your player introductions, no nonsense approach. What are your predictions, guys?
I have to agree with Obone. 4-1 for Terra seems likely. Maybe even 5-0. But I know that sometimes Terra struggles a little bit with TVT. I don't know if he fixed all those problems that he had a few weeks ago and manages to pull through in all games.
Did he play some TVT in the BSL?
Yes, he was in a group with Kogat and Dandy, I believe. It was Kogat, yeah. And he
Terry, you
beat
knocked
Dandy.
out Dandy.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest
Dandy.
disappointments.
But I mean, the final punch was dealt by Dragon, I believe, in the loser brackets final.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they had a really good game on Gold Rush, Terra and Dandy. That was a really great game, one of the best games that we've seen so far.
Yeah, Terry used something else on Gold Rush, isn't he? He took a game off Bonnet.
He did, yeah. And actually Bonus picked the map, surprisingly, since before that it was always Terra picking it.
Yeah, don't play Terry on Gold Rush, guys.
Okay, so the predictions are still up for a few seconds, but we definitely have most of the chat predicting a Terror win as well here. And yeah, let's look at what these players are doing. So we see both players pretty much with a normal gas build here, building their first factory. So nothing too surprising. Barracks in the base, so no marine rushes. Very standard for both players so far.
Yeah. They also both pulled SCVs off gas. So I would guess that this is a fast expansion. Terra is actually sending his marines forward. Okay, since he hasn't scouted Voddy yet, he might think that there could be any shenanigans, like a fast expand 14cc, that he could counter with this. But Voddy has 2 marines as well. Oh, and he loses 1 marine for nothing, basically.
Okay, but I think Marines will not play a huge role. He is actually going for that push, so he's attacking with 2 Marines and 1 Vulture now against 1 Marine and 1 Vulture. So if his micro is good, he could kill that SCV building the command center in the natural, so that would basically transform this early Marine to an economic advantage.
Yeah. However, Terra is not adding a machine shop, so he has 2 vultures out and can easily defend. While Voddy went for the immediate machine shop after the vulture came out.
Yeah, he just wants to take this high ground, make it a little bit harder once Terror decides to push out. but yeah, once there are like 4 or 5 vultures for Terror, I don't think he cares about 2 marines and 1 vulture sitting on the high ground.
What he's going for 3 factories. And he's probably researching something for the vultures. You want to delay siege mode as long as you can, since it's quite expensive. Probably get spider mites and speed first.
Okay, both barracks arriving at the base of their opponents. So now we have the full scanning formation. And here we can see Terror actually pushing out, seeing that 3 factory place. So he wants to reduce the unit count while he still has more. And he's successful. So I'm not sure if that was a good idea for Voddy to stay that far outside, because now he wanted to go for a 3 factory push, but now he lost all his units. So despite having 1 more factory, he's actually almost losing the fight here and getting killed from 2 factories. So that was very important for Terror.
And he went for the speed first. And he has so much production right now that even the Goliaths will not be able to keep up with it, probably.
Yeah, you see both players basically losing their whole army in front of the opponent's base, so maybe one of them should actually wait in their base a little longer until they have more units.
I guess you can fight Goliaths with vultures, guys. Got
Yeah,
enough
you just
of them.
need enough. Yeah, need to outnumber them heavily.
I like how that Goliath was fighting like 10 vultures and then just gave up at some point.
Oh, there's no wall here so far. That's interesting. Will he close that gap? Yeah, you can see the... Yeah, okay, perfect. I was thinking, okay, it gets kind of close. The vultures are coming. You should close that gap. Otherwise, vultures can obviously just go into the main and kill a lot of SCVs. But yeah, he fixes that gap, and now he should be safe against those vultures.
What do you guys think about the starport and dropship? Can he afford to... Yeah, I guess he's gonna send some Goliaths, but he's only got 2 defending.
Yeah, there's a gap there. There is definitely a gap. That's so risky of Terror to go for that. Oh, I think this loses Terror the game. He can just run in here. Or
He's
just
focusing the
kill all
SCVs.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay.
But in return, Terra's going to deal a lot of economical damage as well.
But Voddy is actually
Okay,
moving the SCVs away, and he has 1 tank, so I think... Oh, he has to repair the tank, so he cannot fight with that tank alone against 4 Goliaths. Oh no, no, Voddy.
Yep.
Ah, that was a big mistake to let that 1 tank stay under the dropship undefended by SCVs.
Oh, that's 3 tanks. So that's easily defended now.
Yeah. Yeah, so he lost like 5 more SCVs or so because of that. He's even losing some more, so... unfortunate here. For Voddy, I think Voddy did a lot of economic damage and was in a very good position, but now Terror basically evened it out a little bit, or is even ahead now, I think.
But Terra has no machine shop yet. He cannot go into tanks. It's going to be a long time before he has siege mode, so he can get contained, but he knows that Voddy has no anti-air and is going for cloaked race to counter the tanks.
Should Voddy be pushing with his tanks right now? All Terror has is Goliaths.
Yeah, he should definitely be pushing. Well, he doesn't know that Terra doesn't have tanks, but he knows that Terra's in his base because of spider mines, so he can set up a contain. And taking
But
the
I
high
mean,
ground would
without
be great.
anti-air, it's a problem. Maybe he. Nah, no, he did not go into the main. He doesn't know about the race, but maybe he could assume it because there was a dropship, obviously. So he knows that Terra has a starport. So I think the chance is pretty high that Terra would go for race after seeing tanks only and after having a dropship. So I think that's why Voddy is not pushing. Actually, now he is, but maybe now.
But
Is
he
he
has
sending
armory.
anything that can take air? Is he sending Goliaths with this? Oh, no Goliaths.
Well, they are coming, and tanks can take quite a few shots. the
But
way.
you will lose like 3 or so until the Goliaths arrive, so... he should have waited one more round. Just together with the Goliath would be better. Yeah, now he's just losing tanks for this.
Oh!
Oh my god, that mine! Oh, the perfect mine for Voddy here.
That was
Yeah, but
really
you can
perfect.
I thought
Only
mines
3
don't
tanks
hit
left.
Goliaths because they just kill them really
Yeah.
quickly. Unlucky.
Apparently, if there are 2 mines, I do have a chance. That was just beautiful. 3 Goliaths with 1 mine.
I mean, he's got
Okay, but-
5 factories, eh? I feel like Voddy's in a good position to take the game somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has way more production. He has more machine shops.
But I think those raids can do it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Voddy doesn't have unlimited scans, and you can see this is like the 6 tanks he will lose against those raids. Those 3 raids killed like 5 tanks already.
They're both running out of energy. Voddy running out of scan energy and Terra running out of cloak energy.
Yeah, but I think the raids already did their job.
Terra going for his 3rd. And he's actually getting a gas expansion while Voddy's taking a mineral only.
Oh, catching that dropship at least? It doesn't get it, okay. And from this point on, we should see Terror pull ahead slightly because of that 3rd gas. He can produce more tanks, more important units basically.
Oh, he's going
but
in!
Voddy's actually going for a push. Can he do it? There are still 2 Wraiths, no Goliaths anymore. Oh, is there a Goliath coming? No, there's not.
Tanks were on high
These
ground,
were-
that saved him a bit.
Yeah, that was good, but... Oh man, those Wraiths. They killed so many tanks this game already. Crazy. Okay, Voddy going for 4th base and the 3rd gas now himself. Does Voddy have a starport already? Because that's something that usually the Terrans need at some point. Because you want to have some dropships and so on, and Terra already has that, so he doesn't need to invest resources into that. He can really full on produce tanks and fighting units basically, while Voddy still has to spend some resources on that starport, on the control tower and so on.
And on the science facility to get +2, which is the most important upgrade in this matchup. Since getting +2 will allow you to 2-shot other tanks with your siege tanks.
But of course, Voddy has the positional advantage here, so that's also a very important factor in the TVT. And he has that high ground, he has Terra contained, and he has the 4th base now because of that. Oh man, and those
Terran
rays
King
still
at
doing
2.
damage.
Yeah. Luckily they deal barely any damage. 8 ground damage does not kill tanky SCVs that fast.
But I would love a statistic on how much damage they dealt, how much hit points they killed across all of the tanks, across the SCVs and everything here. Even with only 3 of them and only dealing 8 damage per shot, it must be so much by now.
Yeah, they did a good job. Cost efficiency was pretty good.
He may have forgotten about his rates at his natural.
Might be, yeah. He made 3 new ones and then now he's just using those.
He kind of blended in command center.
Oh, 2 tank jobs, that's very nice.
Oh, these
Raise again.
SCVs are doing some damage.
SCVs, man. They always deal a lot of damage.
Doesn't look like it until you look at the HP just declining. That's funny.
Yeah, they are also the fastest attacking workers. Yeah, the Terror is trying to actually push out now, going on the high ground and easily pushing out. He added a lot of vultures to be targeted by the tanks, so his own tanks don't get damaged too much. You want to generally focus fire the tanks of your opponent.
Oh!
But if you're not watching in the right moment, that's pretty hard to do.
Oh my god,
Wow.
incredible minds here by Terror. He has the army advantage anyways and then gets the perfect fight here and Voddy
GG.
can only GG.
How did he outnumber him that much? He was on way fewer factories for such a long time.
Yeah, but I think the third gas really kicked in and that's why he was able to outproduce. He added a lot of factories. He was on like 8 factories.
Yeah, by the
In the
end
end.
he was on a lot.
So he already produced more tanks because of that early third gas all the time. And then with those 8 factories, he just made 2 rounds of mass vultures. And then his supply shoots up. Because tanks and vultures cost the same supply, but vultures build way faster. So if you decide, yeah, okay, I have a lot of tanks already, now I just produce vultures, you can just go up in supply so quickly, and that's what he did here. And he easily outnumbered Voddy. Oh, Bone, it's not over, don't worry. We still have 4 more matches here. Every show match has 5 matches. And the second game is happening on Sylphid. What do you think about Sylphid in TVT, LML?
Oh, TBT, man. I think you can get an easy third gas if you want to. And then an easy force 1 on a high ground. But you also have to keep an eye on how you divide the map. You can use a fake high ground to contain your opponent. But he can also do the same to you. And there are not that many ways out. You can easily control the map without too many units. There are basically only 1 tiny and 1 medium-sized exit.
I see the third on Neo Sylphid actually has a gas, the third that's diagonal to the main. So my comments earlier, when we compared this map to Dominio Azul, don't make sense in light of that. Because I referred to a mineral only on Neo Sylphid.
Yeah.
And no, the third isn't a mineral only on this map.
It can be. You have that mineral only on
That's
the
sort
other
of,
side.
yeah, okay. Is there such thing as a traditional third on this map? that everyone takes. I
Depends
always
on the
thought it's
matchup.
diagonal to the main.
It actually depends on the matchup, how you want to play it.
Okay.
There's a difference. The fake high ground expansion, the one with the gas, actually has fewer minerals per mineral field and less gas in the Gaseer. So a lot of players, if you don't need a lot of gas, you will go for the mineral only. But for example, in TVP, you will take the gas expansion because it's easier to defend. You don't have to spread out your units as much, and you can defend your third base from your main base thanks to the tank range. So it really depends on what you want to play and what matchup you are playing.
And I think it also depends on the position in some matchups. For example, like PvT. For example, if the Prowlers would be in the 12 o'clock in this game, you don't really want to expand towards the Terran. So you would rather take the mineral only on the right side, for example.
Yep.
Okay, but we have a TVT here, so let's see. Both players just going for pretty much the same standard opening again.
Yep. Pulling SCVs from gas again, going for a quick factory, probably expanding soon, and going for a vulture. Pretty standard opening.
Yeah, forgot to start the next prediction here, so I will do it now. But I only give you 30 seconds, guys, okay? 30 seconds, because the game is already running. Predictions are up now for 30 seconds, so spend your points if you want.
Yeah. Get your fix now.
Limited offer. Timely limited offer, guys. Yeah, so it's basically a completely the same game compared to last game.
Yeah.
Both players going for that fast expansion again after the one factory. We have a little fight going on, but the vulture's here, so this should not be too much damage. The SCV will survive because the vulture's here. No problem.
Long live the SCV.
Okay. So we did see Voddy going for the 3 factory play in the last game, but losing his initial, what was it, like 6 vultures before the 3rd factory really kicked in, so that was very unfortunate for him. Will he try again this time? And
Is Voddy going around with the
save-
vultures to avoid detection from Teryu's flying barracks?
Most likely. But it doesn't matter because both players went for vultures instead of getting a machine shop this time. So they have an equal amount of vultures. And there's no way that Voddy can break Teru's natural. But there's a difference in the build orders, as Voddy's going for the starport and Terra's going for 2 factories and armory. So he can counter any rays that are coming in pretty soon. I think this is similar to what Terra did last game. Make a few vultures and then add Goliath.
Yeah, that looks to be the case. Can the barracks scout the armory or the starport here is the question. Probably yes, because there's only one marine.
So Terra has a few more vultures, thanks to a 2nd factory. But with SCVs close by to Voddy's vultures, they can just repair. And Terra has to probably focus the SCVs instead of the vultures.
Yeah, but he has to be very quickly, and so far he's not reacting at all with the repair.
Actually,
he's not actually
pulling.
trying. Wow.
That was... yeah, a risky move. But okay, there's a tank coming, so that's why he pulled away. And was actually scared of a tank.
To be honest, I think you can just run in again with the vultures and kill all those SCVs. One tank, surely it can beat 4 vultures, but
Yeah.
it takes like 20 seconds. In that time, you can kill at least like 12 SCVs.
Very
if
true.
not more.
But Terra decides against it. Maybe he wanted to not pay attention to that and instead focus on getting that race with his Goliath.
But he missed it, and the race is already here. But yeah, one race will take a long time to do any important damage here. So the Goliaths are just coming back, chasing the race out.
Yeah, actually, so many players who don't have any anti-air, when the first race comes, just start building anti-air at that point, and more races come, and they are still more or less fine in the end, because raised ground damage is just so weak.
Okay, Voddy setting up to take that close gas base as his third. Meanwhile,
And he has
Terror.
siege mode.
Yeah, he has siege mode. But the vultures are around. His natural is actually undefended right now, I think, from Voddy. So the vultures could actually. Okay, there's one siege tank. Okay, so what is Terror actually doing? He has some Goliaths, of course, that are more expensive, but does he have anything else? Okay, so there is a race coming for sure, because we saw that control tower blinking, so he's researching cloak right now.
I wonder if
Oh, wow.
Body's race saw everything. I think he flew through the main base, right? Wow, Terra's actually
Not sure.
breaking the position of Voddy that he had sieged up to. But those Goliaths going into melee range against the tank can easily take them out.
Yeah, very nice trade here by Terror.
Yeah, I think he got 4 tanks. That means 3 are remaining, which is still a good amount at this point. Considering that Terror has almost no tanks. 2 tanks is not that much. It's not enough to one-shot another tank yet.
So Voddy has a third. Terryu is just making his third. Voddy has 3 factories making. Terryu only has 2. Is Voddy ahead right now, guys?
Does he have any anti-air? Okay, his armory is finished. He's getting scan, and he's probably making Goliath now, since he saw the race. But he might be slightly ahead, yeah.
Yeah, Terror invested a lot in those rays in the cloak now. But so far, he didn't get the return on investment, obviously. He's losing some tanks here. So, yeah, I guess fine trade for Voddy. But those rays, can those rays do a lot of damage or not? That's the question here for Terror.
SCVs are awesome, man.
Yeah, they do more damage than the raid. Okay, so if Terror loses his barracks before he starts his factory explosion, yeah,
Look
he's
at him
scrambling
hurry.
to put them down. Yeah.
That's so funny.
The
Oh my
Valkyrie-
god, there's the Valkyrie. I guess it makes sense against race. But so funny to
Yeah.
always see him do this.
But actually showing it right now will make Terror stop building any more rays. And you
Yeah.
actually would want him to build more rays so that your Valkyries can counter him.
Exactly. Now, by showing your Valkyrie,
What is he doing?
it's actually useless. Terror just flying in.
Guess he
Oh my
misclicked
God.
those rays.
Yeah. It kind of looked like he was thinking, wait, you show your Valkyrie? I will not go race anymore, obviously, so I just throw my race away. Kind of looked like that for a second.
Just suicide them. Oh wow, he sees the blower.
Again.
Just like he always catches every single observer entering his main base, he also catches the race immediately.
Okay, so Voddy still slightly ahead because that faster third base, but I think the factory count is better for Terror now, right? We see 5 against 6. Is that correct? 7 even.
Wow.
So 5 against 7. So Terror will catch up here and maybe
It's
even
upgrading
overtake
too.
him.
No upgrading from Voddy.
Yeah, the +1 is not the most important upgrade, but the +2 definitely is. So if Terror has an upgrade advantage right now, and he really keeps it by making the science facility in time for the second upgrade, then he has a very nice timing window with that second upgrade.
Yeah. It's the most important one. And Voddy tries to creep ever so slowly forward. Oh, what was that? Did he misclick or did he actually want to cancel that CC?
I think he probably wanted to because he saw the
Vulture's coming, right?
with the mines. I think. But yeah, I mean, I don't really understand it myself. Even if the vultures are coming, you can still try to keep it alive and then still cancel it when it's getting attacked. But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
just send a new SCV and keep building. I mean, canceling it actually costs minerals, but he spends the minerals on other things, so he maybe wanted to freeze those up.
Okay, nice factory count for Voddy now as well. So Voddy's still ahead in supply. He can still keep his advantage here. But yeah, the upgrades are very important, as we said.
Terra's just running by, but then stopping in the nitro. I actually thought he was going to try and get some economical damage.
So the upgrades are still on 0-0 for both players, right?
Oh my god!
Oh my
Move command.
god! 4 tanks! You never move command in a TVT through the middle of the
Against
map.
any Terran.
Ah.
That
Oh,
hurt.
4 tanks. Wow. And now the supply is actually the same, almost.
Oh, a beautiful drop by Terra. He could snipe that armory.
Oh, is the +1 still not finished for Voddy? That
No.
would be huge if he focuses.
And I think he recently
he-
started upgrading.
The tank cannot reach it because it's too close. He should unsiege the tank and kill it.
I think he could reach it, but he didn't focus.
Repair it!
Okay, he's actually repairing it. Okay, but now, nice usage of that army out-positioning here by Terror.
And Terra just has so much more once again. And there's nothing in position to defend the third base of Voddy. He can just overrun it.
Ah man, Voddy was in such a good position, I felt. Terror got it.
Yeah. But he lost so many tanks to those spider mines. That dealt a huge blow to his tank count. And then I think all his units were just way too far out of position.
Yeah, it completely reminds me of that Demonio Azul game of Dewalt versus Voddy, where he flew in with 2 slow shuttles into Voddy's main. Voddy moved so many units back, and then Dewalt just attacked his third base on the high ground. So that's basically what happened here. He also moves some units out of position. I'm not sure how many it was, but I guess too many. And then he only has like, I don't know, 4 tanks in the front against Terror's 12 tanks. And you can't win that fight.
Yes, we found the one way to beat Voddy. Drop him and then attack.
Easy, guys.
Yeah. If you ever meet him on ladder, just do that.
So, one other important thing. It looks like Voddy really likes to position his units in the middle of the map or very far out. The very first few units, we saw the first 3 tanks getting picked off because he moved them out so deep into basically the middle of those of the path between them, and it looks like Terror actually favors to keep his army closer together and then attack with the whole army together, while Voddy is always very spread out. And if you're too spread out, of course, the player who has the army together will pick off units very efficiently and then win the fight. So I feel like that happened in both games a little bit here. And maybe that's something that Voddy has to be careful about.
Maybe he's trying a little too hard to get that early advantage with the tank contain.
Yeah.
And it keeps biting him in the ass.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, next game coming up. On Eclipse, we have Voddy down 0-2 in the top right. And in the bottom left, we have Terror. Both players having a capital O in their name. I want to mention that. And the bet. Yes. Stakes is high. Sorry, I will do so.
Yeah, the people need their gambling to keep them happy. Bonus versus Ziki today? No. This is the second and last match for today.
Tomorrow is Cross vs Dragon, Bonnet vs Siki. Both of those are live, and Koga vs Striker.
Okay, and now the prediction for Game 3 is started, guys.
Thought he
Logo,
made gas before his
points.
barracks.
Oh wow, that's interesting. We might see something like a proxy second factory or so, or a very fast starport. I'm not quite sure what, like, how many strategies you can do with that gas first. Do you have any idea, LML?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm just holding on my proxy second factory.
Could be a possibility. But we don't really see that much of a difference in gas mines, right?
Yeah, that's true. But he surely has a plan with that. Otherwise, I don't think he would have done it.
Actually
Okay,
pulled.
he's actually pulling out now. So, weird, very weird. He did a weird gas timing in the Dewalt in that Demonia Azul game as well, where he went gas and then expanded. So it looks like he just
True.
likes to take gases early and then don't really use it.
Maybe there are some subtle differences that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Allows him to react better to certain things or something like that.
Yeah, could be. Oh, SCV barely gets in. So close.
Yeah, but he sees nothing unusual. One factory, one SCV on gas. He knows there's no cheese. Both of them are just going to expand now.
As a Protoss player, I definitely wanted to see the depot on the right side of the factory. Sadly, didn't do it. I don't think that's a thing in TVT, but always looks so juicy if you see a factory just finishing, just before finishing, and then you have a worker next to it.
It is, yeah. Always looks so beautiful and clean. Okay, so Voddy's once again going for a machine shop. Very fast, and Terra is actually doing the same this time. Did he even make a vulture? I don't see one from Terra. He did not.
don't
He's
think
going
so.
for a very fast tank then. And he will not be punished for it either. Voddy's just staying in the middle of the map.
Okay, we have a 3 factory play for Voddy once again. But I think with the really early tanks that Terror has, I think he's fine against vultures. If he,
Yeah.
of course, if he sees it somehow and can make a little wall or so, then it should be no problem.
Exactly. You just need to make a wall and then vultures are effectively useless. They don't have a lot of range. They don't deal a lot of damage to tanks and also not to buildings.
Oh wow, but Terror actually pushing out. Oh, that could be what Voddy wants. That could be very nice for Voddy.
Why do you say that?
Because Terror doesn't expect so many units out. I think. I'm not sure. I think he didn't see the 3 factories, or did he see it with the barracks? Not sure.
I don't think so, not yet. But there are spider mines out and 3 factories making vultures. So Terra can't really move on. He doesn't know how many spider mines there are on his way.
He's moving.
Okay, but the 5 vultures or 4 vultures of Voddy are not here, so okay, this could do a lot of damage on both sides here. Vultures are getting into. Oh my god, those mines. No! Ah.
That's one.
Okay, but I think still just too many vultures. I don't think you can actually do a lot with 2 tanks here.
And the spider mine hits.
Yeah. But you know, even without the Spider-Man hitting, Voddy can just produce more vultures in the time it needs the tank to kill vultures.
Oh my god.
So it doesn't actually matter.
Did that explode?
Oh my god.
Oh!
It's one of the most exciting things.
So nerve-wracking.
Spider mines just popping off.
Did one of them hit, the first one? No. Okay.
Oh, I thought it did.
Yeah. So I got it just in time, I guess. Okay, but there are more vultures coming, trying to keep the Harris up.
Yeah,
Surrounding
I
the
think
alliance
he
with
can
spider
actually
mines.
almost kill them.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
god.
At some point there are just too many spider mines.
Yeah, I think he can just fight the Goliath straight up with vultures, even without mines. He can just A-click at this point. He just
got
has
this,
too many
Voddy.
vultures.
Yep, he got it.
Yeah, I think Terror did not actually see the 3 factories, and it was a big mistake for him to move out with only 2 tanks. I think that's what basically cost him the game. If he just stays in his natural here, he's totally fine against any number of vultures. But if he actually goes out in the open on the map, then mass vultures can easily overwhelm you, and that's what we saw here.
Okay, so that's why you said that played into Voddy's hands. He had 3 factories and a lot of vultures.
Yeah, finally the players or the viewers betting on Voddy. It's only the lucky noob, I think. No, we have 3 people betting on Voddy here. They won finally, but Obone stopped betting for Voddy for this game, so he's not winning.
Yep, that's what he gets. He supported Voddy for so many games and then he gave up hope and it went the other way. Okay, so in the bottom left we have Terra in magenta once again. And Voddy in yellow at the bottom right. Well, yellow. You're confusing me there a little bit.
You have to get used to Ox's color switching.
Instead of the zoom in, I just changed their colors, which sometimes doesn't work because one of them will spawn as red, and if you switch it, it just doesn't change it to blue. But it is what it is, folks.
Yep.
It's my trademark.
Very important to distinguish yourself from everyone else.
Yeah. The stakes are so high, guys.
Yeah.
Everything is on the line. I failed in life, so I have to compensate for achievements in this stupid old game.
Becoming good at changing colors now.
Yeah, I am actually. And I do it when I hear the person's name too, which sometimes you guys throw me off. Or you'll introduce it really fast.
Yeah, we try to beat you in your own game.
Cork will just start introducing while I haven't even transitioned into the in-game screen yet.
Ah, yeah. Well, we don't see that, so we don't know.
You guys keep me on my toes.
Yeah.
But to be honest, organizing such a nice tournament with a lot of prize money and hundreds of viewers being entertained every single weekend, every single weekend, 2 days, is definitely not failing life. So I think that's a good achievement.
Thanks to you guys. It's a fun little inclusive community event. And I appreciate you all tuning in, contributing, casting.
Yeah, I really enjoy watching it too.
It's supposed to be our thing, like a collective. Get involved if you want to, sort of thing. Especially if you like casting. It's good to alternate between people.
Okay. So, did we see any guest first this time? I don't think so. Maybe he's guest firsting when he wants to go for prefect. Maybe it works out like that. We'll have a little bit more gas for that third factory. I'm not sure, but I think he didn't do it this time. So
Yeah. They had
We'll
pretty equal
probably see
gas,
more on the
but... Sorry.
Go
They had
ahead.
pretty equal gas, but Terra actually kept 2 SCVs on gas this time. For quite some time. And he still has them on. So I wonder what he's going for. He's going for the second factory. That's a nice mix-up.
So will we see some early vultures with that? Just a very early, like 4 vulture attack or so? Or will he go for the tanks? Early tanks. I'm not sure what's stronger.
I guess tanks are stronger in general. But if you outproduce your opponent in vultures, it doesn't really matter if your tank is stronger, if you have twice as many vultures. But Voddy's actually making additional marines. He has, I think, 4 marines out right now. Yeah, 4 marines out, and they are moving to Terra space. So Terra opting for the machine shop instead of a vulture is actually going to be taking some damage here. Oh, he's going for the barracks instead.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird. Yeah, I think the barracks scouted the 4 marines and now Voddy doesn't feel safe anymore with committing with this. But he could have committed, I think, because of that machine shop before Vulture. But yeah, he didn't know in time and now he's just putting back.
So he got an expansion going, and 1 factory he feels like he just needs to defend at this point because he has a expansion advantage.
Yeah, he just needs to defend, yeah. But
By the way, I want to mention something very important on this map. It seems like it's happening every single TVT on this map. The barracks can block the choke between the main and the natural. And the players know it by now, but we see it again and again.
I think Koget has done it.
Yeah, he has done it multiple times. This time we have a bunker for Voddy, so he's a bit more secure. But if he lets that barracks land in the choke, he can still lose.
I feel like, Terry, you might be doing that.
Yeah.
it's really hard to block too.
Oh my god, the tank! What's going on? No! Oh my god, he's just... I guess he wanted to kill the tank so bad, because then he knows there's no more tank in the natural, and then he can land the barracks, and then he knows that there's a natural completely without tanks. but I mean he lost his own tank for that, so I'm not sure. Yeah,
Is
now
this
it's
an
two
all-in?
tanks in the natural.
From TerraU?
Might be. He doesn't seem to want to expand.
Yeah, but losing that first tank basically for free because that other tank was repaired, I can't see it working, and especially because there are now 2 tanks.
I think Terra's expanding now.
Yeah. Oh, that one tank. Okay, gets it repaired. That was close.
Voddy doesn't have his siege mod yet.
Yeah, but I also think that Terra cannot really push forward. Oh, actually, Voddy going out. That's interesting.
Oh, the
Oh,
Spider-Man.
no! No! Oh my god. Okay. I mean, yeah, he wins it, but I don't think he had to do that. Almost completely backfired on him, but in the end, I guess it was fine. If he kills the tank.
Oh, the tank versus the vulture.
Yeah, tanks are just too strong against vultures. But the backup
Okay,
comes in. Oh, and Terra's actually taking a sneaky third base. So he thinks he's way too far behind in economically, and he has to pull something out to get back into it and get an advantage. So he's expanding again at the left-hand side.
Yeah, for sure. He did a very aggressive opening and basically did no damage at all. And Voddy got away with a pretty fast expansion, so Terra definitely needs to catch up a bit.
He's got 4 factories, Voddy does. If he just macros, he should take this game, right?
I feel that way, yeah.
Yeah, his expansion already kicked in now, but Terros did not, so Terros still on 2 factory here. But if Voddy never scouts at base, and we see Terror being on 3 gases against 2 gases of Voddy, Terror could come back into the game for sure. But of course, if Voddy scouts his base, the game is basically over. And he's doing...
Oh,
Oh my god.
did
No!
you see it?
Oh my god, that was so close!
Yeah.
I don't think he saw it.
Just random
Oh.
movements.
No, he did not. Oh wow.
What's the chances of that happening?
But the good thing is he only has vultures out on the map. He's still afraid of the Spider-Mines in front of his base, and is not making tanks and trying to move out. But
Oh, he still
into-
gets in somewhere.
Yeah, he gets into Terra's nature. 5 vultures can kill a lot of SCVs.
Was that worth it?
For
Definitely.
sure, for Voddy, yeah.
Voddy is ahead economically, and killing that many SCVs is dealing a huge blow to Terra's income. He doesn't know about Terra's third base, so in his mind, he has a huge advantage right now.
The reason
Not
I
as
asked
good
is
as the
like
things,
TerraU's got 3 CCs, he can keep pumping out SCVs. When you lose like 6-7 vultures and you keep doing that a few times, I just wonder if it's better to mass up your vultures with tanks and just attack and win the game.
Yeah, it's difficult because Voddy doesn't know about the third base. So in his book, he thinks, yeah, that's probably good to kill those SCVs, but we know that Terra has another base, so this economic damage is not super crippling in this case.
Terra's so afraid of Voddy finding his third base that he kills all the spider mines just to kill those vultures and keep them from entering his third base. And he's also blocking both rams, so no vulture can get in right now.
But Voddy knows now.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
suspicious.
why would you see Goliath here? So Voddy is pushing. He has the bigger army because he had that second base earlier. And he gets a single tank here. So this will be close. Voddy will probably take this fight. But can he do anything more?
Voddy
don't
used
think he can.
all of his tanks to focus one single tank. So 6 tanks shot 1 tank down. And now the SCVs come to kill the tanks.
This is pretty close, but if Terror manages to survive, he can pull ahead. But I don't think he can actually stay alive, because now Voddy, he's actually moving his attention to the third base here.
Terra has 3 machine shops. Voddy has them now too. But Terra has more gas income to support it.
Yeah, Terror cannot defend this.
SCVs are pretty good.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, okay.
But what this does is...
so many SCVs as well.
Yeah, exactly. So many SCVs getting pulled. He keeps pulling them over and over from different bases.
Yeah, and in the end, Voddy wins the fight even so. I think this game is very close to being over here. Also,
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I want to say that Terror also has no aggressive options really apart from vultures, because there are mines everywhere. If you look at the minimap, there's no way Terror can move out with his army, with tanks and so on, anytime soon. He needs so long, Voddy will see it, has a lot of time to prepare, so there's no way Terror can actually do some counter damage here, except with a few vultures, but if he's not getting in with those, then he can't really do anything to come back now.
Yeah, especially with Voddy getting his third base up and Terror's being down now. And not having a lot of economy on his 2 bases. Seems to be Voddy's game.
Nice mines. Once again, nice mines here. Crazy mines. Okay,
I thought Terra U was dead.
He still survives, but the state of the game, the advantage of Voddy, did not disappear from this. He just lost that fight, or he got defended, but it's not like he lost his economic advantage or so. So Voddy's still far ahead here.
Yep. It's gonna be hard for Terra to do anything right now. Can also see the difference. There's 30 supply. 30 supply difference. And Voddy is dropping Terra space.
Oh man.
Only 2 bulls. Third one would be good to one-shot STDs. Also, Terra is not fully mining his natural gas. It's only 2 mining and you need 4 when the gas is below the CC.
Is that the rule? You use 4 workers to mine gas if it's below mineral deposit? Is it just for Terran or all races?
All races. If it's below or to the right side, then you need 4 workers. And if it's on top or to the left side, then you need only 3. That's why all the maps usually have the main base on the gas on top or on the left side.
I think this is the awesome thing about TVTs, guys, is the mines. It's gotta be, right? I love it.
Terror not losing 4 tanks against mines, so he's still alive.
Yeah,
and
he's,
now he has broken his contain to the top at least, so he can actually retake that 4th base. But Voddy is actually moving his units way on the top of the map here and getting into another position to attack the 3rd base. But at this point, it feels like Terror could actually go for an attack now.
Getting his 3rd out, but immediately gets shot down again.
Yeah, I feel at this point Terror has to go all in. You can see the supply. He's 50 supply down. He's not getting a 3rd base up. He has to go all in with this army, and that's his last move in this game.
He can catch Voddy out of position, he might be able to deal enough damage.
Again, we see Voddy having like 3 tanks by themselves here, moving in 2 other tanks, one by one. So again, he lost like 5 tanks, and only killing like 2 of Terrors. Voddy doesn't have his units together. And here, another single tank. It does 1 shot, and then gets killed. So again, Voddy with some slight problems with the army movement, I think. But I think he's too far ahead at this point anyways.
Yeah. He was also taking the fight from the low ground, but it doesn't really matter.
It looked like Terry was coming back, but Voddy had a bunch of units scattered around. I didn't see. GG!
So much for the comeback.
Is this going to be a reverse sweep, as they say? We got a tiebreaker, gentlemen.
We do. 2-2.
Voddy's still trying to get this money, guys.
Wow, he just got a little bit more. 30 bucks in total for today.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Thanks to everyone for contributing financially to the events. It is kind of cool. Every single game win is worth $15.15. You can afford to pitch in some dollars. If you subscribe, you get 110 replays for each month that you subscribe. We also have a donation link.
Yeah, and we saw 80s Mullet raiding us with a party of 23 viewers. Thanks a lot, 80s Mullet.
Thank you, my friends. He'll be casting tomorrow's BBT with G5 and Doc Holliday.
So there are some comments, statements, and questions in the chat. Is this the final? Is this a draw? You can enter ! format into the chat, and you will get informed that every single show match here is always 5 games, so there can't be a draw. And there's also no final, because every player plays each other player in this 12-man tournament in a show match. So there's no final, it's basically a round robin with 12 people.
Alright guys, we got a tiebreaker. Be right back after this hype video. Terror vs. Voddy on D's E-Ray, tied 2-2. Didn't you guys predict 4-1 for Terror U?
No.
Shame on you guys.
Yeah,
I heard Voddy's TVT is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it clearly is. Taking games off of Terror, that means he must be really strong in TVT.
That's why he's in the best of the best tour, guys.
Yeah, you gotta be good.
Okay, and now we have the next game. Game 5. The predictions are up now in the chat. And we have a horizontal close position on these array with Voddy spawning in the top right and Terror spawning in the top left. So we talked about this earlier when they were vertically close, or also you can say close by air, that we saw a fast drop by Voddy against Dewalt. This time the air distance is a little bit longer, and also the ground distance I guess is around the same. But yeah, will this make a difference here? We also have a different matchup, of course. What do you think, LML?
I think it might make a difference, yeah. You can still drop easily because you can just fly towards the middle and then to the left, and can get into the main base close to the minerals. But it's definitely a lot different to spawning right on top of your opponent by air. I would guess that they both go for one factory and an expansion.
Yeah, that's definitely probably the most probable opening for this map, the fast expansion, especially on TVT. I don't think you have too many options at punishing an early expansion, so we could see both players going for that.
And Terra seems to be
but
going for
we
the
have a
14
guess.
CC.
Okay, so we have that situation that one player goes for fast expansion and the other player is not. So we could see something very aggressive by Voddy once he scouts this, or we could just see him accepting the slight disadvantage and go for an early expansion himself. But I think it really depends on the scouting here. And so far, we have no SCV going out. Okay, now he goes out. So which
Oh.
direction will he go?
Looks like he's going to the bottom right.
Ah, you think so?
Or
I'm not
cross
sure.
position.
He's going to the left.
Oh,
Okay.
he's going to the left. Okay. So the pathing is through the middle anyway.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
that
okay, so
changes
we
a
will
lot.
get confirmation here.
Yeah. Scouting this 14cc on your first scout gives you way more options than scouting it on the last scout.
Yeah.
And he immediately moves out with two Marines, and he keeps making Marines behind him. Sending out a second SCV too.
So Terror needs probably a bunker. Yeah, okay, he starts it. Bunker is going up in the choke here, and I think it will finish. I think it will finish before the Marines arrive, and also there will be one Marine inside. So I think Terror is actually completely fine here.
I wonder if he's... Nope. He's not gonna do it. No emergency wall. Since Marines can slip by anywhere. Yeah, but like as you said, he finishes the bunker just in time.
Yeah. Whew, and that's a pretty good start for Terror, especially with Voddy investing so much more minerals into this little attack instead of getting his own command center. So this can be dangerous.
Going.
Oh, wow. Okay, interesting. Oh, killed that second Marine very quickly. So now it's 3 against 1. And that one is also hurt. I think Terror stopped making Marines because he thought he was completely safe. Okay, so 2 SCVs go down. And that's pretty. And one more, I think, in the choke. So a total of 3 kills.
Yeah.
Okay.
But him
not
forcing
bad,
more
I guess.
Marines... Okay, I think he lifted his barracks. Forcing more Marines could have been detrimental to his race Harris. But Terror lifted the barracks after the new Marine.
I apologize, I missed the start part this whole time.
It's okay. They were fighting. That was
It's
more
a pretty important detail in the game.
Yeah, what does Terror have to defend this? So far,
Two
nothing.
Marines.
Oh, 3 actually. So
Oh.
I guess he can defend this for now. There's no cloak, remember? Oh, focuses that hurt Marine from before and the other one. Very nice here. But yeah. So Voddy basically removing the anti-air here of Terror. And there will be a second race for sure. So with 2 races you can actually start to kill some SCVs here. But so far, only killing Marines is not that important, I think.
Oh, look at the armory being hidden in the bottom left, so it doesn't get harassed.
Okay, so I think that's 2 vultures. I wonder if repairing is actually useful here, but Terror looks like he doesn't think so. He's just letting the vultures die here, the SUVs die.
Oh, smart move. Body blocks off his entrance against the attack from Terror's vultures.
Yeah, very nice.
He can actually fight the vultures and attack the wall. Oh, but there's a tank out.
Not anymore.
Yep, he got denied. First Goliath comes out, so the race have to run away.
Can we see the kills on the race? I think there was one was 8 and the other one was 4, so it's 12 kills, now 13. So that's actually a lot of damage. So I think Voddy's in a very good spot here, even with that delayed expansion and the failed Marine attack. But it's close, it's not a huge advantage.
Yeah. He's getting cloaked now. And I don't think I've seen an academy, but there's an eBay in Terra's Nature. So he can defend his own base against the cloaked race, but he cannot move out at this point.
So can he kill that armory from outside, from the bottom left? Before the Goliaths have range, maybe?
I think the Goliath can go underneath, right?
I don't think so. But yeah, raids take way too long. By then he has Goliath range finished.
Yeah, that's true, of course. Buildings having 1 armor also doesn't help.
Okay, but they are coming into the natural. Our turrets just almost finishing. Okay, gets no kill. So yeah, after all this action, Voddy with a slight advantage, but very, very small advantage, I would say.
Terra's about to lose his barracks, and he's not landing it to take less damage either. Which you could do against the Wraith. But he's going for his own starport, laying spider mines on the map so tanks can't just push him down.
There are many mines, and Voddy's moving out. I'm a bit scared.
Maybe we might see some more tanks running into them. But Terra is going for 2 starports now. So he wants to play the air game. And Voddy actually lifted his starport, meaning that he's not getting any more of those cloaked rays.
Oh no.
Oh, that actually hit.
1 mine actually hit again, yeah.
Are those vultures trying to run by?
I don't think so. Yeah, that's a nice move by Terror. Oh.
And he forces him to go back, just like Dewalt did.
Yeah. Okay, but he's doing it smart this time. He's actually not moving back the tanks, only the vultures, because the vultures obviously are way faster, so they can catch up to the tanks again after defending the opposing vultures.
Mm-hmm.
But I still don't think that the tanks can actually do a lot. They are damaged from the mine, and yeah, okay, so he's just positioning them again. So once again, he's going for that very early position play. I hope it doesn't bite him in the back again when he has only like 4 tanks there and Terra moves out with 8 or so.
Yeah, he's also only defending 1 exit.
Yeah.
Out of 3. Terra has 2 open ways to go. And is there an armory for Voddy? Or are those 3 races his only anti-air?
I think in
Looks
the
like
natural
it.
maybe. But we have a fight here. Okay, no armory for Voddy. So this attack, he has a lot of tanks, only 2 tanks here. Can they be hit? Oh, the race killing the tanks. Okay, but you mentioned that Terror is going for double support, so he actually has the race advantage now and can push this back, but the vultures are getting in.
Oh, is
He could
Voddy gonna do
potentially
it?
do so much. Make spider mines to get those spawning units if they are not vultures. I think he's going to lose a lot of economy, but his race should hold.
Yeah, but the question is how many SCVs will he lose? I think too many. I think Voddy has done it, to be honest. So many more units rallying in, and those 3 vultures take, those 3 rays take ages to kill all those units. And the SCVs are just getting killed everywhere.
Oh, that spider mine. Oh!
And the spider
Oh, but
mine.
at the top.
Ah, not getting any SCVs.
Yeah, but I mean the
that's so
damage is
much.
done, right?
Yeah.
It's too much, yeah. Yeah, Voddy did it, guys.
Seems like it.
First sweep.
Master
If you
Ray's
can
calling it
hold-
already.
I'm calling, yeah.
Well, Terra could hold it right now, and then he would need to do a lot of damage with his race, but I would bet that Voddy is getting anti-air right now. Yeah, where the Goliaths are spawning.
Voddy's just bringing more non-anti-air units in to keep the damage up, and basically to force the race to stay here, which is fine. Yeah, I mean, so much damage was done. You look at the supply. Voddy's almost tripling the supply.
It's
He
not
has more
over until
factories.
Terra says GG, man.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
28 against 60, oh, now 73 supply, so... It's gonna be tough.
What would be the best finishing unit in this position? Tell me.
Nukes.
No, it's a Voddy special. It's the Valkyrie. The
Valkyries?
Valkyrie must
Yeah.
finish. That would be perfect here against MasterRey. Ah, but he's using Goliath.
That's it.
GG.
GG.
Guys, Voddy won against Terra U. 3-2. Reverse sweep.
Yeah, really well played.
Yeah, crazy results. I think most of the people didn't expect this. Voddy actually winning against the 2nd place of the BSL and also a very good player in the best of the best here, being in like 4th place or so. But Voddy taking it 3-2. Nice, good job.
We should have a post-game interview, guys.
That sounds good.
Hey,
Hey, welcome, man.
thank you, thank you.
Congratulations. That was an awesome series to watch. Terra U was up, I think, 2-0.
Yeah. They won
And
the first
then you got a reverse sweep. So TVT is your strongest matchup, what I heard.
Well, it was. Right now it's TVZ, because I came up with some stuff versus Zerg, and I lost my understanding, or maybe I never had, or I don't know what happened in TVT, but I ran into some new issues. But TVT is my best, and then TVT, and then TVP is my worst. In fact, speaking of TVP, obviously I just got 0-5'd, you know. Sorry about the poor play, but
Oh, those were
when I was
great games.
invited to this event, I knew that my TVP was bad, and I knew that it would waste like the time of viewers, but I thought because it was so long before the start event that I could get good at TvP in time, and maybe I haven't quite done that. So it is what it is.
You're a really modest guy, Voddy. Those were great games to watch. LML, MasterRey, do you have questions for Voddy about that set?
Congratulations. Those were some good games.
Thanks.
But in the first two games, we saw that you tried to contain Terra, but then got overwhelmed several times. Were you trying to just get the early advantage by any means possible?
Well, going for a contain, I mean, in Terran versus Terran, it's like, there are many ways to think of the matchup, but one way to think of it is that you're just going to make units, and then go out on the map. Because if he doesn't make units and go out on the map with them, then you get a positional advantage, and then he has to run into your siege tanks and your mines. And there's some stuff you can do about that, like you can drop around it, you can crawl forward with raids, you have a vision advantage and stuff. But it is a factor. So I was just making some units, and then I noticed, okay, I mean, I have the map control, so I just, put up tanks in some good spots. That's why I did that. Wasn't like a particular strategy that I was going to contain him hard and keep it that way the entire game.
Okay, so just trying to seize the opportunity.
Right, and then so that's why often you'll see, not all the time, but often you'll see two Terrans both walk out and just move into each other, and you might think, well, why are they doing this? I mean, why? Like when I play TvT, a lot of people think it's just a bunch of static tank lines. So why are these people playing like it's Protoss versus Protoss early on? And that's why, because if you just siege up outside of your natural, well, then you get contained. So then I walk forward, you walk forward, and we both meet in the middle because we're both trying to just prevent that from happening. So pretty much that's what happened,
Are you pretty familiar with Terra use like TvT, and you devise builds and strategies to counter that? Or like, how do you go about playing a 5-game TvT set? You have specific builds in mind?
Yeah, I think about the map and like what's good on this map, etc. I didn't really counter him that much. There was one thing I knew that he liked to go for, like 2-fact Vulture into Goliath, which looks really stupid when it doesn't work, but sometimes it really smashes people. Like, you have to watch out for it. It's actually a very dangerous thing, and people die to it all the time. I knew that he was into doing that a little bit. That was the only thing I knew about him going into this. Other than that, I just prepare, or try to prepare. I think about what's good on each map. I wanted to go for like early dropships in one of the games, but I never really got to do it. But that was my plan to do on one of the maps. But I abandoned that.
Always a pleasure watching you play.
Yeah, congratulations from me as well. I also have 3 more questions.
Awesome.
Versus Dewalt, I'm interesting, and I think most of the viewers are also very interesting. When you scouted that fast expansion by Dewalt, that 12 Nexus, and you pulled SCVs and killed it.
Yeah.
But then Dewalt still overwhelmed you in the end. So what were you thinking in that moment when you actually killed the Nexus? Do you think you were already behind because he had it up for some time, or did something go wrong afterwards? What is your perspective there?
I haven't watched the replay yet, but I wasn't that ahead. It may have been even, or I may have been slightly behind the way I handled it. I think I should not have put all the mines down at the natural. That was such a huge mistake, because mines, if he has one observer, it doesn't matter if you have 1 mine, 0 mines, or 50 mines.
Right.
Don't break out. So instead, what I should have done is put like 3 or 4 mines there, and then the rest to defend, because then maybe I wouldn't have died to his counterattack. Also, it's pretty obvious, like when you do this, you fall behind in units, but you get your natural expansion earlier, which means the advantage he has is a bunch of units. Obviously, you have to prepare for that.
Yeah, right.
By mining up your natural. So
when I saw him just double expand, I was like, oh, that's kind of tricky. But then I saw you're also making your 3rd, but the difficulty is trying to hold that. So I'm just wondering how, I guess that like strategy of killing the Protoss's fast expansion is effective, but how to counter what Dewalt, I guess, basically did. He had a bunch of units and he just made 2 Nexuses.
I think if I had played perfectly, it would have been even. Maybe I would have been a little bit ahead. I'm not that good at judging this, to be honest, especially because I don't really know TVP. Like, I don't have a TVP, essentially, yet. But, I mean, theoretically, if I take out the base and then I defend his counterattack decently, and it's 3 base to 3 and he has no tech, that seems good for me.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks. Let me ask you about your mentality. I mean, you were down basically 7 games in a row, but in the end you did the amazing comeback and you basically won 3 games in a row afterwards. So we always hear some people talking about he's in a very bad mental position after so many losses and so on, but it looked like it didn't really affect you. So what were you thinking after that loss streak there, and how did you pull back?
Okay, so was I tilted? Well, that's a little bit maybe, but I thought, like, I looked at the games, or I didn't look at the replays, but I thought about the games, and I thought I had everything I needed to win in every one of these games. I just messed up. So if I just stop messing up, maybe I can win a game. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's very nice.
I saw the opportunities to win, essentially.
Mhm. Okay, and a question a little bit related to that. After that first show match, Ox asked you if you want a little break, but you said no. What was your thinking there?
Well, I saw no reason to take a break, simply put. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, why would I take a break? You know, I'm warmed up. It's not like, you know, we're doing martial arts tournaments here where I like have concussion and I'm like sore and stuff. So I was right to go.
Yeah,
I mean, you guys
Yeah,
play
yeah.
ladder for hours. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
sure. Yeah, sometimes, of course, you hear people talking about being tired after a show match or so, but yeah, it's nice if it doesn't affect you and you can still play and, I mean, do a very nice comeback in that show match against Terror. So yeah, good job.
Thanks.
It's really fun to watch. Guys, there is a special event before Best of the Best Tour tomorrow. Voddy will be casting it, and Quark and Machine. First, it'll be Kala vs. Scan. It's a pre-played set. That's the 7th. I believe the prize pool reached $100 thanks to some people online who contributed to my initial prize. I've hosted a few of those with Kala, Yapzap, Scan, and some foreigners. Where it's organized live on Twitch, and then I ask people to add to it. If they trust me, they send me money. Anyways, we got the prize up to over $100. We'll show that tomorrow. But the main event is Dandy vs. Siki. 9 games live. Should be really cool. It's on Trovo. They're sponsoring it. If you can, please tune in. We just need your viewership. And it'll help us to justify future sponsored events like this. So we can support top foreign players like Dandy, Siki, and others. So do tune in. Looking forward to the cast, especially by Voddy, Quark, and Machine. And we'll have BBT tomorrow as well. Starting at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2300 Central European Time. We got Cross vs. Dragon, and then it'll be Bonnet vs. Siki. Both of those matches are live. And then Koget vs. Striker. Lots of Brood War tomorrow. Any shoutouts, comments from anybody?
Voddy has left us.
Bye, Voddy. Not in spirit,
Yeah.
though. He'll always be with us.
Yes. Shout out to Pato, of course.
We're gonna take that shout out to Pato back.
Oh,
We hate the Pato. No, I love you, Pato. No, I don't. Stupid,
Yeah,
sexy
so-
Pato.
We're awesome games, as always. Thanks, Ox, for organizing.
Thank you guys. Come on,
Thanks.
guys, throw in some dollars. Support the players. Support the event.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also thanks for the viewers. I will do my own stream now, if anyone wants to watch that.
Let's
You
raid
can
you.
See me on my. That would be nice.
Let's do it.
Smart move. Well, that's why you're on here.
No.
For
I've
the
been
viewers.
casting many events already without streaming afterwards.
Nah, I was just kidding. Shout out to Team Red, of course, where we are both part of. Thanks, Ox, for organizing this. And
Thank
thanks
you,
for having me.
guys. We finally got you here, LML, casting, and hopefully you'll be back in the future. I think it's cool for people, like, they've obviously seen you in stream channels. I don't know if you've ever casted an event, but
For the first time yesterday.
Cool.
Solo casting Showbo League from BSL Season 11.
so we're second in place in terms of getting you to come on a cast, but that's still cool. I mean, a lot of people know you, right? But this is their first times getting to hear you. It's a little bit more personable, and it's nice, I think, for people to be like, hey, that's LML casting.
Yeah, I used to stream in the past, but then my computer broke. Now I have a new computer, but now I'm not really playing StarCraft anymore due to some problems with my hand after playing.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too. Kind of sucks, but
But
now I
you're
have more
watching
time
it?
to.
You're casting
I have more time to cast, help
an
with
admin?
BSL and my team, and just enjoy StarCraft in general.
Yeah, I mean, you're in Germany, so is MasterRey. The Germans have a wonderful, from what I've learned, StarCraft community. So do the Swedes, so do the Polish. I mean, all the European countries.
Yeah, lots of local communities.
Very good-mannered, community-oriented individuals. Yeah, from those countries. They do all kinds of neat stuff. Big shout out to all of them. Yeah, I wouldn't have stuck around since July if it wasn't for the community. Like, getting to know people on streams, on Discords. The game is great, but it's not enough to keep me connected. It's really you guys. So, yeah, it's a wonderful, lovely community. If you're watching this and you've never really, like, followed Twitch streams or Brood War-related Discords, you should. You'll meet all kinds of lovely people. But be warned, because you'll get hooked, and you won't be able to keep up with professional or other personal commitments, and you'll sink all your time.
It's actually true. I watch way too many BBT VODs at work.
Thank you, man. But I'm also, yeah, sorry to hear that. I know how it is. But it just speaks to how lovely the community is. All the events going on.
Yeah, there's almost too much StarCraft at this point. It's amazing.
It is. I mean, I've only come back around July, but it took me several months to really learn about everything that's going on. These players who are on our BBT, they had joined our Discord months ago, and the funny thing is I didn't know any of them. I didn't know Dewalt was Dewalt. I didn't know Oya was, you know, the supposed big shots. I treated them all the same. I treated, you know, LML, me and you going back and forth, or me and MasterRey. Just respectable and nice. And then it was just up until now that I've discovered what big names these guys are. Yeah, they're all good-mannered and humble, and they realize this is an old game, but my point is everyone's really nice. Very few instances of like really grumpy or BM individuals you have to deal with.
That's true.
Alright guys, MasterRey is streaming. We're gonna raid him. LML, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Casting, my friend. Yeah, it's been a real pleasure hanging out with you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Take care.
Take care. Bye bye.
Okay. So my stream is already running. Talking on both screens right now.
Yeah, I actually got you a new fan recently. Someone who just started playing, and I've suggested your one, what was it, 50 APM series to him, and it helped him a lot to just win his first game last night on ladder.
Ah, nice. Yeah. Yeah. It was reaching 1.5k with 75 APM. Yeah. I think it really, without trying to praise myself, I think it really helped a lot of people. I get a lot of comments all the time, like on YouTube, or just people at me on Discord and tell me it really helped them, like, switch or flip that switch in their head. They thought about the game differently. They now understand how important macro is and so on. So those feedback, those comments are really nice to hear.
Yeah, it's a good series.
Okay.
Well,
I just realized that I think I was muted the whole time that I was talking.
when?
I think for the past however long.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sorry, folks. I may have been muted since the promo video we ran after it was tied 2-2.
On stream?
Yeah, I think so. We're still
no
on.
joke. Okay. That's,
I might be, but
that's
maybe it's
really
just
unfortunate.
if you mute on one of these scenes, it mutes it all across, doesn't it, MasterRey?
Yeah, it does. Usually.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. That must be really weird
For
when
the
you were
other
talking
people who
to
were
Voddy.
talking to a ghost, yes.
Especially the interview with Voddy. He's just answering into nothing.
Yeah. Okay, well, unfortunate.
Alright, well, I wasn't saying anything of value. It was really all coming from LML and MasterRey.
Oh, well.
It was very good as always.
Yeah.
Alright, guys.
Well then, see you around and have a nice stream, Ray.
Yeah,
Bye,
thank
LML.
you. And I'm also leaving. Bye bye.
Alright.